Hello, everyone, and welcome to WoodYaTalk. I'm Woody, and let's just talk about the JRPL. We are a few days short of SummerSlam, and a ton has happened in the JRPL. But we'll also be discussing the future of the JRPL because some fun stuff happened there.
That depends how you define fun, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I had a good time.
That's true. Yeah. Who better to discuss the future of the JRPL than the guy who made it, Bomber?
Yes, that is very true. What's going on, guys? We didn't start right on time. I lost track of time. Sorry about that, but I'm glad everybody's here. We are streaming live on Twitch, so hey, everybody in the chat, and if you're seeing this on YouTube, you guys missed out. Check us at Jabba Radio. You'll see whenever we stream, we'll post like little links in there when we do go live. So, but anyway, what's going on, guys?
Not much. How was that butter?
Butter? What butter are we talking about?
The hot butter, peanut butter.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Terrible. I made homemade hot spicy peanut butter with death nut. For those of you, I don't know if you know what the death nut challenge is. Never do that. That's all I'm going to say. Never, ever, ever, ever do that.
Okay. I wanted to have the guy who made it at SummerSlam, but Lee wasn't available, so I guess I have to do
Oh! Nice.
Yeah, instead you got the guy who won the main event of SummerSlam. Hi.
Hi.
Son of a bitch.
He was. Yeah, you were a part of it, I guess. You were a part of it.
How are you? How are you, Fat?
I'm good. I was on vacation for most of last week, and I literally worked 2 days and was so busy it feels like there was no vacation. You know how that goes. So, good to relax on a weekend and just kind of do nothing and dread tomorrow and how busy it's going to be. But, it's always fun to talk about JRPL stuff and see where things go, and especially when you won the main event. You know.
That's true.
Actually, you do know how it is, so I can say that, Woody. You've won a SummerSlam main event, so
yeah,
there's that. So
people in the chat saying Canada's hero.
Damn right. Redhead said I'm the only winning host. Hell yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
We try. Yeah. Well, we'll get there. I guess we'll discuss it.
We'll definitely get there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with the results. We wanna do that.
Well, yeah. SummerSlam, yeah.
Let's do it. I'm loading it up.
Let's go here. One thing I will say, Bomber, you gotta get me my achievement for winning a main event because I hadn't done that yet.
Well, there's not an achievement for winning a main event. There's an achievement for being in the main event.
I thought there was one for winning a main event.
No, it's just being in the main event.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought there was. I
you've got
finally won a main event. Yeah, no, I main evented like the 4th or 5th show or something. So one or what. But literally, I hadn't won a main event until now. So that's
Yep.
Isn't there ones for like multiple main events or something, like 10 main events?
Yes,
5 main events?
There are. I think it's 15 main events and maybe
what's it called, like All Eyes on Me or something?
Yeah, I'm loading up the achievements page right now. Feels funny talking about this stuff, but look, Mom, I made it. Is main event a show? 15 main events is put that spotlight on me, and main event 30 main events is the big draw. So those are the main event achievements. Only a couple people hit 15, but yeah.
Okay. So to jump into the results, Woody, do you want me to go through the card per usual?
Per usual, go for it.
All right. The highest possible points we had on this were 64, which seems small to me for some reason for SummerSlam.
Is that even right? Is that right?
That's what's written there.
Oh, you know what? I think it is because there was only 10 matches. There was a bunch on the actual show, but we only predicted 10, so that is probably right, actually. Yep.
And there weren't as many bonuses, to be fair, as well.
Yep.
What was it? TakeOver had a lot more on there. Actually, yeah, TakeOver happened the day before all of this.
We kind of skipped over that.
Yeah, we can kind of tertiarily mention that because we never really do focus on takeovers as much.
True.
But like the results of what led to what, like the world title match and the Woody Redhead match and stuff like that. So we can mention those as we go. So let me go to the card here. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, 64 was the highest. CM Carlito and Switchblade were late on predictions, so it was a -5 penalty.
Yeah.
To be fair, they were kind of screwed with the pre-show because it was an hour, then it was 2 hours, then it was an hour, then it was 2. So they were kind of bad about that. So that,
and I put them against each other because they were kind of the odd guys out. So it really didn't even affect them too much. Just lowered their score.
That works. So, and there you go, 48-47. So when you consider out of 64, that's not bad.
Yeah, no.
If they both lost 5, that's still pretty good, and they were 1 point off. So that works. Mark Black, who doesn't even have a picture there, defeated TB666 49-48, another single point win.
Debut.
CJ Blackthorn beat Dave Souls-McFart 51-35. Daddy Fatsack beat Slingblade 54-37. Those are very similar scores. There,
yeah,
actually, that's kind of funny.
These 3 right here, even this next one, are all very similar.
And then Kyoko beat Kev 52-38, and then Cross beat Payne, newcomer, 54-25.
Ooh.
And Accelerator beat Firma 55-34.
A lot of one-sided victories here, right? And this whole section are very one-sided.
I think every single one of those was a squash, technically. There might have been like a point or 2 close, but yeah, those were all real close.
I'll have to go back and look at that. I didn't mark anybody for the achievement, but I'm going to go back and look at that, yeah.
We then have Oni defeating Cade Gailey 55-50, and Super Hippo beating Go Tanaku 54-52, and Tom beating Victory Green 54-48. So those ones are a lot closer.
What are your guys' thoughts on the return for Victory Green? By the way, that's a surprise. We haven't seen him in a long time.
When's the last match he was in? Like besides Summer?
I think. Maybe I know what it was. It was Survivor Series was his last match. So last November was the last. Yeah, almost a full year he's been gone.
Yeah,
went out on a high
right away
note
and eliminated him. I remember that.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't realize that was the last. Holy cow!
Yeah, he was on my team actually, and he got eliminated right away. But
he was the Mike Knox of the match, where it's just like, boom, you're out.
Yep.
We have the Blissful Enigmas, Adanex and Junction beating former tag champs, the Drifters. I say that because Adanex and Junction weren't tag champs. Junction was, but with someone else. But anyway, that's the whole Enigmas craziness. Beat the Drifters, 103-98. So thinking like a 5-point match.
That's actually, I mean, Blissful Enigmas, they always step in when they need to. But to me, that's an upset because the Drifters have been doing fantastic for the most part as of late. And this match, I was hoping. Kev's buddy, I forgot, Liquid Vamp is her name. I don't know her actual name, but his friend in real life, she was trying to make her picks, but it was past the deadline, and like the pre-show was going on. So I told him, I'm like, sorry, dude, she can't show up. But I was planning on them taking on the Drifters, but so we kind of had this makeshift match as the reason behind this one, unfortunately.
And it worked out for the Enigmas.
It worked out fantastic for the Enigmas.
And again, 98 is nothing to sneeze at for the Drifters. That's good. But not enough to win this one.
Yep.
The Dark Rider beat Captain Charisma 49-45.
Big win there.
Jut, bastard Jut, beat JD 54-52. 2 more close ones.
Yeah, and I'm just super happy to see Jut. The only, as we'll get through this, the only UVC member to get a win on this show, but man, super happy to see him. He's been struggling a little bit, so to beat somebody like Mr. Money in the Bank here, pretty big win, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting into some of the bigger matches here. That was one of the bigger ones, but we've got AHMF members Spring Tigress, GMSG, and Green Machine versus Team Jobber Radio, Peanut, Matt Zion, and Rab. Spring Tigress no longer Road Warrior champion. Having lost it to Wookiee at TakeOver to go and bring that back into it. So, those scores were 141-134. So consider that the Enigmas and the Drifters had 103-98, and these guys simply added a third member each, and were still within like 40 of that. Those were good scores by those guys.
Yeah, and actually, Team Jobber Radio were winning through the majority of this show, I believe. I remember going back and looking at it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Jobber Radio's winning. So
it was decided in the Lesnar match.
Was it really?
I think. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that would have been a major, major upset if Team Jobber Radio would have won that. But this was always my backup plan because obviously Tigress was the Road Warrior champion, so she would have defended here if she would have won at TakeOver. But I always had the backup plan was to be a six-man tag match, the Awesome Hooded Motherfuckers versus some team. I didn't have the team picked out yet, but as I was looking through it, I was like, you know what? This would be a fun, SummerSlam type feel of a match, and it was close.
Like a Shield versus a triple tandem kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
What that ended up doing is giving GMSG the Jobber Radio Clean Sweep achievement of defeating each cast member of Jobber Radio.
Yeah, I didn't even know that he was right within reach, and I think
someone else was. I think Beerme lost a match, and he was denied it on that tag match.
Beerme was denied it.
If he beat Matt and Rab, he would have gotten it with that. So he needs to beat Matt and Rab. Was all he needed. But GMSG got it here.
Yeah, and so he's the only person that has it. He's the only person that has that achievement, GMSG. So that's pretty awesome. Exclusive.
Next up, we have Kier 1, I think is how you say that, beating Tino. Now, let's go to TakeOver for a sec.
Yeah, let's because this is a carryover from TakeOver. Yeah, so let's hop. I'm going to open that page.
TakeOver was Ash and Kier 1, Ash, the world champion, versus Tino and a partner, which ended up being the Finn.
Yep.
Originally, I was facing the Finn. Things happened. So Tino and the Finn faced Ash and Kier 1 or KR1.
Mm-hmm.
And if Ash and Kier 1 won, whoever didn't get pinned of Tino and the Finn would be the challenger for Ash.
Yes.
And if Tino and Finn won, they would both challenge Ash.
Yes, it would have been a triple threat. Yes. Hopefully that wasn't extremely confusing, but yes.
Yeah. I think the confusing part of it was not knowing it was the Finn until the event. I
guess
that would have been the weird part of it.
Sure.
But Ash and Kier 1 did win.
Yep.
And defeated Tino. He was the one who took the loss in that.
He had and the way, if anybody was confused on like how it was decided, it would have been whoever had the lowest score between the two, and Tino had the lowest score between him and Finn on that show.
So he took the loss.
He took the pin. Yeah, that's how. That's what happened there.
That led to Finn challenging Ash, which we'll get to. And so then the others fought, which is just logical how you kind of make that stuff play out.
Yeah.
Kier 1 faced Tino and beat him.
Yeah,
it was
shock.
4-43. So was that? Forgive me, I don't remember from the write-up. Did Kier 1 pin Tino at TakeOver as well?
No, it was Ash.
Okay, so both members have beat Tino in that.
Yeah. Yeah, Tino is, if you've been reading some of the write-ups, he's been, ever since he lost his belt to Ash, he's been taking more of a, I wouldn't say a dark turn, but more of a, like, he's definitely going through some changes, like, I guess a dark turn is the easiest way to put it, the best way to describe it. And losing again here, he lost his title, then he lost the tag match, he was done pin, and then he lost here to Kier 1. Tino has to be in a bad place, character-wise, kayfabe-wise, at this point in the game, so.
I've been there.
Tino has one of the most up and down careers that in the JRPL that I know of. Like, he'll win like the big ones, and then he'll lose, and he'll continue to lose, but then he'll win another big one.
Yeah.
The biggest of big with the Rumble and the title.
Yeah.
And Money in the Bank.
Yep. Money in the Bank. Yeah, he's won some of the biggest moments in the JRPL, but then, he's also losing down on the undercard at SummerSlam. So, yeah, it's definitely on that roller coaster.
Now, next up, we've got Modstep and Chappers facing Hermanos Hasta la Muerte, Peanut is My Bitch, and Alpha Dog, 96-93.
Very close.
Which is, I always say this, that's a single bonus question.
Yeah.
There was a 3-point or 2 bonus questions. That's all it takes. And 2 of them got the same bonus question wrong. They lost the match. It could be like that. That's how close that is.
Yep, super close. So for those that are wondering, wait a minute, I thought Chappers was with Peanut is My Bitch and Alpha Dog. What happened over at TakeOver? They were in a match against Team No Chance, a 6-man tag. They ended up losing pretty bad. And Alpha Dog and Peanut is My Bitch, who have been teaming up, they've been the more of the, the tag team of the trio. They turned on Chappers and beat the trash out of him, hit a reverse Rana on him. They were just basically destroying him until Chappers, real life friend Modstep came out to help him. Now Modstep lately has been helping out friends because he helped LJ out at Extreme Rules. I'm sorry. So, yeah, basically, Chappers was getting destroyed by his former partners. Modstep came out, saved the day, helped out his friend, and then here at SummerSlam, teamed up with his friend to take on his former trio team, and they ended up getting the win. So, got that feel-good moment for Chappers there as him and his friend won. So,
yeah, it's kind of like he got shafted on and immediately gets comeuppance for the guys who did it. Sometimes it's just good to have it like all right away. Sometimes that is good. So not everything has to be a slow burn. Sometimes that works, and now you go from there. So,
and this has kind of been in the works for a long time. I've been talking with LJ and Modstep, and for those that don't know, if you haven't been listening to any of our shows, Modstep, Chappers, and LJ are all like real life friends and stuff, and they hang out and do the show. And they're in the UK, so that's really fun there. But anyway. We've been talking about getting those guys together for a while, and Chappers was already in a group, so we had to think of a way to do it, and we went this route. So
yeah, it's good.
Yep,
I like it. What do you know about people leaving and joining faction? What do you think of the latest set of developments?
It with little things like that, it can make or break a career, like with what's a good example? Someone joining a faction, like the
legit boss.
Legit boss. But no, that's not fair, because legit boss was successful even before joining that faction.
Oh, you're trying to pick somebody that was never like they're kind of a lower on the card person joining a faction. Well, I guess Orstella would be one. He joined Team No Chance later in the game, and kind of made an ass of himself for a little bit. He kind of tried to weasel his way, in the JRPL. But
you do it right, you get a benefit though. We got a title shot. We'll come up to that.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm calling him out, because he actually rose to success afterwards. So.
Speaking of rose to success. Hardcore last man standing. Get it? You have to rise up to get anyway.
Hey,
Camp Popplestone defeated the Lucha Warrior 44-28, and I'm just gonna stop talking because that was a good joke told badly.
Yeah, no, I just laughed too because Arstella just on the stream threw us some bits. Thank you, Arstella. But anyway,
awesome.
Yeah. So this has been one of my fun little feuds that we've had that a lot of people, it's not, main eventing. It didn't even make the main card, but I still have liked the way this little feud went down between Cam Popplestone and Lucha Warrior. I don't know why. I always have just fun with Cam Popplestone's character and stuff. But this was another one of those stories of Lucha Warrior. He's this rookie. He's doesn't stay down. He's been continue to lose, but never stay down and out. He's always got a fighting spirit. And it boiled down to this last man standing match where Cam Popplestone once again got the win, and he finally kept Lucha Warrior down. But afterwards, he totally put him over and said, "You're one of my toughest opponents yet," even though that's a lie, because the Bomber was definitely, the toughest. But yeah, so Lucha Warrior, he did get the loss in the end. Sometimes it just works like that. If you were right in the story, you would have Lucha Warrior get the win here. But that's the downfall of real competition. So either way, I think it worked out. I liked it a lot. What were your guys' thoughts on the little? I would almost say a little mini feud.
Little.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that you don't need huge feuds to get over, in here in JRPL or anything. Tiny little feuds like this can really, really help you in the long run. And I tend to like the shorter ones more, just a tad bit.
You just get electrocuted?
I don't know what that noise was.
Sounds like you just got electrocuted, Woody. You're good. Your mic just did a buzzing sound. What do you think, Scott?
Well, it's funny because you ask me about some of those long feuds. That's some of my favorite stuff to set up something, and sometimes you end up with it, like Lee and I, a year later, literally. Or you end up with some stuff where it's like the redhead feud or the beer me back and forth. And some of those little ones are almost more fun in between. It's like, okay, we got 6 months to do this main part. What do we do in the meantime? well, Beer Me and I need to have some submission matches. That's what we. And it's like, okay, so that's like a little mini feud while the overall's going. Those little ones are super fun because it's like you got to figure it out for that one show or two shows.
Yeah, that's true.
And then how does that all build toward the big show? Is always part of the fun because it's like, okay, well, if I'm doing this here and there and there, I can work out. I got a match with Ward and put Tigress here, and then that's there, and SummerSlams with Lee. So it's fun to have the things like, what can we do in the meantime? I know that's silly of a way for me to think of, like, that's how I treat the little feuds.
Mm-hmm.
But it is like literally JD and I wanted to fight back and forth, and finally we did a thing, and you put us in 2 shows in a row because. Well, it was kind of like a non-title show was good, or a house show was good, so let's do it again on the main show. Because we got to fill time. It's literally part of how that worked.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's all it is, but you get some fun stuff. And I know Cam, he's had a lot of fun with a lot of these. He's also had a lot of frustration with a lot of these.
Sure.
It's the ups and downs. But I think part of him being able to roll with it has led to some of the really fun stuff. And for Lucha Warrior, it's a good start because like, oh, no one can put him down. Oh, someone finally did, and it's Cam. That's not anything to be upset about when it's someone like Cam doing that. So that benefits Cam, but it also benefits Lucha Warrior. So,
and you know what? Don't usually refer to some of the, like, while we're doing the show. I think this might be the first time that I'm gonna just quote one of his. Lucha Warrior did a little promo in the character chat section. And he just, it's really short, so that's why I'm doing this. He said, after SummerSlam, Lucha Warrior is seen sitting in the locker room with a towel around his neck, disappointed look on his face. And he says, quote here, I made a promise. I promised that I wouldn't be the same Lucha Warrior who couldn't get the job done. But now I just don't know where to go from here. And it's time to make a decision. And then he stands up and walks out of the locker room. So who knows what that means? But obviously he's frustrated as well from losing a couple times, I'm sure. But we'll see.
You know what the great story parallel of that is? That happened to Cam, and Cam just did it to him.
That's true. That's
like,
true.
Oh god, the full circle of that is awesome. And that was like, yeah, you want to say you intended that, but you never know what happens. And oh shit, sometimes that's going to be a better story coming out of it this way than if you go the other. So I mean, I've been operating that way for a long time with all these cool stories, and then I keep losing them. Like, oh, where's the character go now? So you can get some real fun stuff out of that. It sucks when the guys just stop though. Like when it's like it's frustrated. Like what was it? What was the team? It was Regal and Guerrero who. Oh,
I know exactly what you're talking about. What the fuck were they?
I forget the name of the team, but they were awesome. Then they had one loss and they left. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of their name either.
I can't remember the name. Yeah, like the Twin Brothers or something. They were.
Yeah, they were Twin Mazement.
They were great. They were awesome. They were on
go.
a tear. They were doing everything great, and they lost. It was like, oh, where'd they go?
Yeah, they went like 4-0 or 5-0, and then they lost their title match, and then
just rolled it. You can be 5-1. It's nothing. It's not a bad thing to lose to the greatest team ever. Like that's fine. You can figure it out and go from there. So, but yeah, hopefully we've stalled long enough that Woody's back. I mean, what? This is live.
Woody, you good?
Yeah,
Your mic.
This is definitely mine.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do it.
I heard some static coming through that, but it sounds like you're good now. So, we got a very important match to talk about because we have a new Canadian champion.
This was the main event of the undercard.
Bear Me Jesus defeated Vitamin Yes 54-28 and is now the Canadian champion. And just like Vitamin, doesn't give a damn about the belt.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which is awesome. I love it.
I even wrote in the write-up, I was like, is anybody going to show the Canadian title some love? Because like everybody that wins it. I mean, I guess Woody didn't really disrespect it that much, did you?
I did not.
Yeah, so I guess just the last 2 title holders, kind of.
Yeah, since what, like January?
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, there was not a title match for for Vitamin.
Yes.
Because he had a different match, which I'm trying to find here.
Oh, are you talking about TakeOver?
Yeah.
He was in the 6-man tag against the Hermanos.
Was it? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, the 6-man tag,
so Team No Chance against the Hermanos. So it was, all champs versus the Hermanos.
That's true. Yeah, all 3 of them were champs.
Because that's how disrespectful Vitamin's character is to the belt. He's not even going to defend it on every Canadian show. There's 2 of them. Only like the 4th one's possible. He's not going to.
Yeah, I think that's what we.
What an ass!
I pitched the idea. Great. Yeah, I pitched the idea. What do you think if we like only have you do it on the main, like the SummerSlam, not the night before, and you can like spin it as a like, oh, I'm only going to do it just on the big show because I don't give a shit about Canada. I don't care. Well, yeah, I don't care about that other.
Such a heel move to come out.
It's great.
To say, I am your Canadian champion. I am not defending it for you. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, if you want to see me defend it, come out tomorrow.
Yeah, and then Beer Me comes along and wins it, and then also doesn't care about it. So
yeah, because Beer Me, I guess he's kind of been taking this role on as almost a no nonsense, get in there, get the job done and out because he's pissed. He's obviously pissed at the warden and the way everything's going on with the solution. No telling what. We're almost still. I'm gonna have to ask you later on, Woody, once we get through the rest of the shows, like what the fuck was supposed to be happening with the solution? Because I remember you said that we were gonna. Well, I'll save it.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I'll save it.
Yeah, you'll get there.
But anyway,
I can't promise I'll answer anything, but you'll get there.
Oh God. But yeah, so yeah, Beer Me basically has this like whatever, come in, beat Vitamin Yes's ass, take the belt, not give a shit, and just leave. That was basically the whole gist of it. Of this match here, because he actually did win by a pretty big margin. That is, I'm pretty sure that's a squash. I'm not great at math, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's 15, isn't it? I was thinking 25 for some reason. I think it's 15, so that's definitely.
No, it is 20. It is 25.
Oh, it is 25? Okay, whatever.
Yeah. But he still got it. It's 28-54. So yeah, he got it.
Yeah. So big win for Beer Me there.
And a big win for the Platinum Saints, 3J Platinum and Sax Blues, defeating the Regulators, Luke Gray and Fart Bucket. And I will go back and mention a takeover. Luke Gray had a hardcore street fight match, which, again, I named that, and I apologize. He won that, though. He won that 29-17 over 3J Platinum. So that's good. And then he comes in here, and Platinum kind of gets the win back in a tag match with Sax Blues against Fart Bucket. And Fart Bucket is dangerous on takeovers, but not so much the big shows, because there's a lot more you can get wrong, and that's what happens usually with him with a 72.
So a little insider with that match, and because I'm personal friends with Fart Bucket, I'm gonna give you some. I have my phone here. I'm gonna read some text messages that were exchanged about this SummerSlam weekend. First of all, Fart Bucket missed the. I think I'm hearing like a little bit of a feedback, Woody, from you, by the way. Just heads up. Fart Bucket didn't get his picks in the time. I tried to warn him, but it just didn't happen. So he didn't have a match at TakeOver, and I wrote him into this match as he was a street vendor at a hot dog stand, and he got beat up and got put through I'm just going to read what I told him. He messaged me and said, "Did I win one where I didn't pick?" And I said, "No, obviously." I said, "You were in disguise wearing a fat suit and working at a hot dog stand." He replied, "The classic Fart Bucket." And then I said, and then you got slammed through a car windshield. And my favorite reply ever, I literally laughed out loud when I read this. And he says, "Good old Fart Bucket misdirection." So that's Fart Bucket in a nutshell there. And then we started talking about football stuff. But anyway, so he was involved because he's involved with the story between, Platinum Saints and the Regulators. But and then you went to SummerSlam where he top locked a no contest in the main event between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, which he had to knew that was coming with Fart Bucket. But but yeah, this has been a fun little feud. It didn't quite go the way I wanted. I know we talked about it before. I was hoping that it was going to be 3J and Captain Charisma, but hey, we got a new team that formed out of it. So as long as they're happy, as long as they had fun, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And next up, we've got the Road Warrior title. Like I said, Wookiee dethroned Spring Tigress at TakeOver, and came in and defended it against Orstella 49-47.
Oh, yeah, and I just looked. Yeah, he beat Spring Tigress by 1 point, too, 26-25 at TakeOver.
And retained over Lee by, I think, 1 point, and beat me by, like, 2 or 3. So Tigress was in close matches. It's been close for the title of late.
Yep. Yeah, no, and this was Orstella's chance that we were talking about. He's definitely been working his way up and has deserved a title shot at some point, and this was his shot. And he came just 2 points shy, so he came close. And I think he did a fantastic job. And you never can count Wookiee out. The dude has a lot of losses. I think we looked it up. He has the most of anybody, I think. But the dude has been on every show since day one. I mean, a lot of other people have, but he's one of those people that a lot of people don't think about. So when you're on every show and you're, getting those big wins when you need them, that's what happens. You become a 2-time Road Warrior champ.
I think there's only two-time Road Warrior champs.
Yeah. GMSG and Wookiee. I thought Cade Gailey was, but I was wrong. It was just Wookiee and GMSG.
No, Cade just had it for a while. That's all.
Yeah, Gailey went on that monster run.
Yeah, he has the record for the longest. Yeah, he has the record for the longest single run in days as champion. It's like 70, something like that. So with that belt, defending every show is a pretty tough, pretty tall order.
Next up, Legit Boss beat the Warden. 54-49.
To me, what do you guys think? I want to hear your guys' opinion. You think this is an upset or what? I do.
I mean, she's a former champ. I don't think so. I mean, it's an eye opener, but I wouldn't call it a shock.
I wouldn't say shock. I would just say like an upset because Warden is he's not been as dominant as of late, but still the most wins, one of the top people in points. To me, I would assume. I think I picked him in the JRPL.
It's a match that's like Roman versus Drew. It's like Roman will probably win it, but you wouldn't be surprised if Drew did.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is like. Warden, I'm like, I'll probably pick Warden. Like this, the way things are going, Warden seems to be the one. But Boss could easily, not easily take it, but Boss could absolutely take it, and did. I'm not surprised, but it does seem counter to what you might think based on the history of late. But that's kind of a misnomer because Boss hasn't been bad of late either. Just Warden's been more prevalent, I guess.
And
Warden has like all those wins and points mainly from like tag matches. So like when he's put in a singles match, it's not shocking when he does he does lose, but it's shocking when him and Beer Me both together lose.
Let's put it this way: I beat Warden in that match, and that was a surprise. And yet, when you look at it, I got a shot. I got a fair shot. It's similar to that. I think it's almost identical in that same way. It's like Warden versus Scott. Yeah, Warden's probably got that. Oh, no, Scott took it. Okay. It's not that much of a surprise, but it's like, oh, look at that. I see it the same way. So,
and we might as well talk about the write-up with what happened because we finally had Beer Me Jesus get involved. People would have thought that he would have got involved right away after what Warden did. Like he would have, struck back at TakeOver, which he did not do. There was no interaction between the two at TakeOver. But here in this big match against this is a question that I have. I don't know if somebody's a former Solution member or if they're a current Solution member. I don't know because Warden is the one going around. If you read the write-up for this match, I talked about how there's so much question marks floating around that.
Like he is the Solution.
Yeah, he says.
Like he kicked everybody else out.
Basically, yeah, exactly. So it's almost hard to label a former member with a current member. So anyway, this is the first time we've seen Beer Me Jesus get involved, and guess what he did? Classic, Scott Hall type, character. Cattle Prod came in, zapped Warden as he was going to go hit his 5-star frog splash, and basically he fell face down into the mat and crushed his nose, I think, or something. Didn't break. I didn't go far as he broke his nose, but he drew some blood. And Legit Boss picked up the win that way with Beer Me Jesus getting involved because, let's face facts, Beer Me Jesus and Warden, not as friendly as they used to be with each other. We'll just say that.
No, I know a bit about that.
Yeah, you probably do.
You've been
I said to Beer Me, it's like, oh, Beer Me, when your partner comes back after you thought he was gone and he turns on you, it's so crazy, right? It's like literally same thing happened to me. Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this match was definitely a higher profile one to me just because of the names.
Sure, of course.
It did have that kind of recognition, like a former world champion versus someone who some would say uncrowned solo champ. Just never quite got it. But
That's
it's
true.
not for nothing. It's just it's a situation and circumstances.
And
never quite worked out.
And Legit Boss walked into SummerSlam last year as the world champion, which Woody, you know something about that. But so back-to-back years on the main card, so not quite in the world title picture this time for Boss, but still, like you said, a high-profile match.
Yeah, big win.
And it's a big one-on-one when you see a match like that.
Sure.
Like I like stuff like that when it's like, oh, that's two names going at it. Like Bear Me and Vitamin is one similar, and I'll say like Cam and Lucha Warrior is like that's getting there, but that's one established name versus an up and comer.
Mm-hmm.
The Boss and Warden, it's like, oh, that's a big one.
And Jutcha and JD, that would be, if there was no story behind this match, if there was, this would definitely have been on the main card. Those are two big names.
Absolutely,
too.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one too.
Yep.
But speaking of matches and importance, we have a title change. We have the Chaotic Maniacs, Broken Nerd and Baron Ash, dethroning Team No Chance, Buck N5 and Lily Pilly.
Yes.
104 to 92. And this is the Maniacs' I believe, second title shot. Matt and I retained in the tournament.
Yep.
But they've never had like a proper shot where they knew really what was happening, like not tournament weirdness like we had.
Mm-hmm.
This is a straight up big profile match, and they took it, and that's a good match, good win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a big shock.
Their first win here. And in the write up, I decided to embrace some of the, I would say, I don't know the words to use. I would say hate or disdain. Those might be too harsh, but Baron Ash is nobody's favorite superstar. We'll just say that. So I finally tried to actually write it with saying like they are probably one of the most disliked teams in the JRPL. From I even included the roster. I said they had to they have to. I almost gave them the Enzo treatment. You know how Enzo, nobody wanted to be around him in the locker room. Basically, I'm giving Baron Ash that Enzo treatment. It's what I did here in the write up, and said that they overcame the shit. They basically said they give a big FU to everybody and won the titles there. So
the moment I read that, I was like, oh, good, own it. Yeah, work it in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, yeah, that's different. That's something unique. Good.
Yeah, because Broken Nerd, surprisingly, these two are okay. Kill the League were around, and they kicked out Baron Ash for personal reasons. And Broken Nerd could have stayed. They wanted Broken Nerd to stay with Kill the League. And Broken Nerd said, you know what? If they're kicking out Baron Ash, I'm going with them. So I was like, wow, okay. If that's what you want to do, sure. So that kind of cemented Broken Nerd in with Baron Ash. It's like, he's my partner. I'm sticking with him. Mm-hmm. Even though nobody fucking likes him, apparently. I'm going to stick with them, and we're going to ride this out. And they did, and look what happened. They won the tag team titles. So you may not like them and stuff, but...
no, it's kind of is like a perfect storm for the story. It's kind of great. Like
story-wise, yes. Story-wise, it's good.
Story-wise, the one guy gets kicked out of the faction, and the other guy's loyal to him, so he goes with him.
Yeah.
They go on to give everyone the finger and win the tag titles. It's like, what? That's kind of great, really, with how that worked out in that way.
Yeah, and I just want to point out something else. During the I think it was immediately after SummerSlam ended, apparently Baron Ash, staying true to himself, was contacting Buck N5. I don't know how. I don't know if it was on Twitter. I don't know if it was on Discord. I don't know. I know he's not on the Discord anymore, Baron Ash, that is. But somehow he was contacting Buck N5 and rubbing it in.
It was Discord, because Buck N5 had Tag Champ in the name.
Okay, got you.
It was there. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But Buck N5 was saying I need to ban him from the league and stuff like that, and it's hard to deal with the situation because you can just not pay. I said just don't listen to anything. He's like, if he's trying to get you riled up and like, we took your titles, blah blah blah, just ignore him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. From what he said, it didn't seem bad to me at all. What was being said, it was just, yeah, we took your titles.
It was trash talk.
Yeah, that to me was more trash talk.
Trash talk, but still trash talk.
Sure, trash talk's trash talk to me. It didn't seem like anything bad.
Yeah, no, not from what I understand, but still, it's like, really?
Yeah,
but it is what it is. I mean, I've said this before on I think it was on the last one. Literally, we talked about how people might not get along. Okay,
sure.
It's not like we're actually going to the ring and wrestling. We're just picking numbers and hoping for the best, and write-ups come up from there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to interact with the people if you don't want to. Like, some people aren't in the Discord.
Yeah,
no one's ever talked to Tom, far as I know.
Yeah, not that I know of. I think he comments on
right?
he was commenting on YouTube videos from time to time, but that's about it.
So it's like you can go without if you have to. It's fine.
Yeah, my advice is just either block somebody, ignore them, do whatever you got to do. I don't think you can message somebody on Discord unless you guys are friends. I don't believe. Can you?
I think you can send a message. You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
And then it'll be like, you want to be friends with this person? And if that's the case, you say no or whatever you want to do. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
The next match is a submission match, which I know a thing about, with Redhead versus Woody. Redhead won 51-48. Let's go to TakeOver real quick, Woody, before you start on anything here, because TakeOver had a match with Redhead picking someone and Woody picking someone, and then they would have a match, and whomever won, their person who picked them would get to pick their stipulation for this match. Well, Woody picked Cassius. I'm saying Chappers. Woody picked Cassius. You can explain why in a second. And Redhead picked me. So the last time we had this, talking about having to face the Finn and being worried about that, I already knew I was the choice for that. I had to fake all that. And I'm glad because Finn's scary. But Cassius, okay, sure. We went to a no contest. So there was no winner in the match where the winner gets to pick the thing for the stipulation. So I believe Bomber had the board pick that and go from there. I want to point out that's my second tie. Woody, you have the other one with me.
Okay. So both involved Woody somehow. Nice.
Yes. And what's funny is I've not lost on a main show. Well, I haven't won everything on the main show since Mania now because I got that stupid no contest at TakeOver. God damn it. But we come over to TakeOver, and the board decided to make it a submission match. Woody, I'm kind of curious because Redhead picked me because, I mean, the storyline history we have makes that great where I have to go along with it because I'd be like, no, I'd throw the match. Screw you. I wouldn't do it. Oh, but you have to for the thing. Okay. That's some fun storyline. That's playing on history and going from there. Why did you pick Cassius?
Yes, this is a big question I have as well, so please.
Because there's so many you could have picked. I'm sure there were some limits on who you could pick. But you could have picked, I presume, anybody.
Yeah, I don't think I limited anybody that I know of.
So, yeah, I was curious why you picked Cassius. Because I was like, oh god, he could have picked anybody. It could have been the Finn, which would have been hilarious.
What if it was Lee and Scott? I wouldn't have let that happen, by the way. But
No,
what if it would have been Lee and Scott? That would have been terrible.
That would have been a veto. Whoever picked first, the other one wouldn't have got the pick. So it could have been Lee versus someone, but yeah, no.
Would you let me pick Red? Like, just have Red versus Scott?
I mean...
Oh, that would have been funny.
That would have been interesting.
Could you imagine Redhead comes out and says... Like,
that would have been great.
Like, I refuse this, and you come out and be like, yeah, and you're facing Red. You're like, what?
That actually would have been pretty crazy. I never even thought of that. Yeah, that would have been nuts.
So I have to go out there and try to win for Red, but Red has to go there and try to win for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah, you would have. All right. So anyway, why did you pick Cassius?
I wanted to give an up and comer just a chance and an opportunity to get a big win on a big stage right before SummerSlam, and see what that would do for him. Just give someone a chance. Not a lot of people get those.
But this is with your SummerSlam stipulation on the line.
It is.
Okay.
So
now, when did you know that Red picked me? When did you learn that? After?
I don't even remember.
Oh, okay.
Probably like a day before.
What was your reaction when you learned it was me?
I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think he'd pick you.
It's a pretty big surprise, yeah.
Yeah, and then we went to a fucking no contest.
Yeah, okay, so I guess let's look at the behind the scenes of this match because we haven't really talked about the behind the scenes of this match. It hurt my head, by the way. For dear Lord, it wasn't that bad of a premise going into it. It was, hey, I'm going to pick this guy, this guy, blah, blah, blah. Seemed pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. It really got confusing when it became a no contest, and then on top of that, in the write-up, Cassius wanted this... was it Cassius, Woody, or was this? I don't know whose idea this was to bring out two goons, two masked people.
Okay, so me and him talked about it, and he has two buddies that I know, and he wanted them to bring them in and form this whole little group, but we had planned for it to be later on, like build on to the story, but I guess because it was a no no contest, I guess it happened sooner than it was supposed to be, I guess.
Well, from where my perspective on it came, yeah, this is the real Would You Talk Jobber Radio stuff you want to hear, guys.
Yeah, behind the
Lee
scenes.
and I. So the whole match with the Finn was like
Fake.
to get me and Lee off the card,
Yes.
and it was fake because of the whole thing anyway. But the whole idea was Lee and I were going to have a segment on Takeover.
Yeah.
And it was like a contract signing kind of thing, because unlike with Red and I, where we kind of had everything structured out and there was like matches like weeks in advance, there was a month after our last thing and then this one show before SummerSlam. So we're like, we need something on this last one. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we came up with the idea of like a contract signing. But then this all happened. I went, okay, well, we'll just have whatever happened with an attack on my family, which was always the idea I had. I'm like, Lee's a heel. He'll attack my family. That was the idea. So, okay, we'll do it at the end of this match.
Yeah.
Well, there's a beatdown. I'm like, well, that's not going to work because I've got to be able to have the thing with Lee. I can't be carried out. And then, yeah, I'm going to be that guy. I'm kind of Bret Harting it here, but I was against the idea of being beaten down by a newcomer faction because Cassius is like, this is his 5th match.
Mm-hmm.
The day before I main event, SummerSlam, I was like, that doesn't really work.
Mm-hmm.
Any other time, I'd have been cool with it. If I wasn't main eventing it, I'd be cool. But it's like, no, that if anyone's going to leave me laying, it's Lee. Was the thought. Like it gets in the way of that story.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that I'm Bret Harting it because Bret had a history of being like that before. So
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Shit. But I'm like, let's make it work though. Let's have them come in. They're able to keep me away, and as I bail out of the ring or something happens, and then Lee attacks family, and I'm like, oh, dude, you do a contract signing. Sign it with my father's blood. He's like, oh, that's fucking good. So Lee was on board
good.
with that. He liked it. We went with that. And then the idea of the security, we reverse engineered because he was going to come up with security the next night just to keep fans away. I'm like, what if this is the reason they have to do that? Oh, yeah. So we built everything off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the no contest happens. We're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that threw so much headache. I remember talking after the show, I was sitting there trying to figure out what to do. Scott, or sorry, not
I
Scott.
was out, and you were texting me on Discord, and I was like,
Yes.
oh, no fucking way. What?
Yeah,
What the
because
fuck are we gonna do now? I'm like out of friends playing D&D, going, oh shit.
yeah, I got a message. I don't know if it was from Woody or Red. Somebody sent me the message of, all right, so Cassius wants to come out. He wants to bring out 2 new people, 2 masked people. There, all this extra stuff got piled on, and then on top of that, the no contest happened, and then we were gonna add in the stuff with Scott and Lee. I'm like, holy shit, I don't.
Because
Yeah,
that stuff was already going to be there somewhere, and I'm like, it would make no sense for us to leave and come back.
I do agree with that.
We were supposed to have pre-show matches where we mentioned, and then we'll do a segment later. That would have worked. But I'm like, and also to have our segments, and then I'm picked for the match for Red. That wouldn't have worked. So we had to finagle it somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to work it out for you on that one.
Yeah, it was rough. I was talking to Red. Red called me, and we were talking about it in, like, right after we were trying to figure out what the hell we were going to do because he wanted to know, all right, so who gets to pick the stipulation because it's a no contest.
That too. Yeah, there's also that.
Because that was riding on. And I'm like, dude, I remember just, like, I was talking to him like, man, you know what? There's so much bullshit right here. I'll have to just talk to you later. I'm like, I'll figure it out after. I'm going to post the results, I said, because I tried to get them out as soon as possible that night before SummerSlam. And I was like, I want to get this done. We'll figure out the stipulation later. So I just went through and I powered through and got him out. And yes, Vitamin Yes made a comment on the Twitch chat. Says, personally, I felt the write-up was super messy, way too much going on at once. Yeah, there was quite a bit going on. I agree.
100%. I agree.
Yep.
It was literally 2 storylines going on that suddenly intersected, reopening a former one, and then had a third one join it.
Yeah, it was insane. And then the thing that got me really hot was the next night when Cassius fucking no-showed SummerSlam. So we get this new, like, he's got these goons come in. He's got, like, he gets involved in the middle of the Woody story and then the Scott story and then the Lee story and then the Red story. And he wants to make his own story. And then he no-shows the next night at one of the biggest shows of the year. I was, like, pulling my fucking hair out. I was like...
Well, I didn't even realize that, actually, until just now when I realized I haven't said his name yet, scrolling through here.
Yeah.
Cassius
he
was
no-showed.
2-2 with 2 wins over the same guy. and then have this match. I'm like, that's neat. I love stuff like that. I treated it like a Bret Hart versus 1-2-3 Kid in my idea for the write-up.
Sure.
Like, you never know. I never want to be like, I should destroy him. No, let's put him over. Let's do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I win, cool. If I lose, well, that was the thing too. The idea is for the win or loss. If I won, it was by DQ because I did, like, something happened. And if I lost, it would be something else happened. So there was no clean win for me in the write-up. I was like, what? No. No. I'll take a clean loss in this. Like, it makes sense if Lee gets involved, or Woody, or Red, or something.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on to make it a shenanigans fest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, okay, so now he's 2-1, and he didn't show for SummerSlam. That sucks. But I mean, it happens.
Sure.
But
all right. So anyway, we decided to. I looked at all the match stipulations, and I was like, all right, the one that makes the most sense and causes the least amount of headache would be a submission match, and we'll just write it off as there was no good way to go about it. We just had to have the board come up with it because there was no clean way to go about picking that stipulation. It was more of a neutral one, and then we had Red end up winning the match. What are your how was your thoughts on the whole angle, the whole thing between you and Red from start to finish, and then how the outcome finished? How do you feel it went, Woody?
I think the outcome was always going to be a step forward for both of our characters, and I'm happy to see that because I think for me personally, it's opened up a lot of story possibilities in the future and whatnot. But I thought it went really smooth. There's some things that could have been touched on, but that's just on me and Red. But other than that, it was really, I liked it. It was really good.
Okay, and so you're not hot about losing, huh? Not mad about taking the loss.
No, it was super close. It was
by
so
3
goddamn
points.
close.
Yeah, it was very close.
Fucking Rollins. I thought Lesnar was gonna.
I got that one wrong too, man. Hey, that's why probably both of us lost. But yeah. What was your? Do you have any opinion on it, Scott, or?
It's another match, like I said, like Boston Warden. It's Redhead and Woody. That's a big match.
Yeah.
Big names. It's one of those ones like that could main event a house show. Is how my brain looks at those kind of matches. You know what I mean? So when you stack a card with these matches, like, oh, these are all big. It was a crazy write-up. I am not surprised. After working with Red quite a bit and getting those, that's when you work with Red, that's what you get. And I'm not saying that like that's a bad thing. You get some fun, crazy shit. It's just some of it's not my style. But when you get Woody involved, yeah, okay, you could have some crazy ass shit. So
yeah, there was a lot of craziness going on in that match.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. I honestly, like you said, one match is all it took for that, Woody. So that's the nature when you get a big match like that with close names. So yeah, it was fun.
Okay, cool.
Next up, Bomber, I have bad news. We have the Top Lock Championship with Bastion losing to Jonathan C.T. Martin
by 1 point.
By 1 point, 60-59. CT finally snags the match, snags the title, gets the big one, beating that bastard Bastion by a point.
Yeah,
which, like I said before, is one bonus question, or it's one thing.
Yes.
Like, oh, I didn't think there'd be a DQ after all, and lost. Title gone.
Yeah, and there was so much. I don't even know. I know on the card the Kofi and Randy Orton match got thrown out. I would like to go back and look and see if Bastion would have won if that match didn't get thrown out. He probably would have. I mean, I may be wrong, but that may have been the deciding factor and a possible reason why he lost. Oh man,
just imagine if CT picked Orton and Bastion picked Kofi for 2.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it would have taken. Like that's literally it.
Yeah. No, it broke my heart. Worse than my match. Of course, worse than mine. I've always Judge and Bastion. I think people have heard me say it on here. I would always trade any win I got if they lost. I would easily trade that for them to get a win. And with Bastion flirting, he was right there. He was so close to breaking Super Hippo's record. He's tied his record for title defenses, I think 7 or something like that.
Yeah, in 2 reigns though. That was the painful part of it.
Yeah, all he needed was this one win, and he would have broke the record for the most successful title defenses. I hate it for him, and I know he beats himself up a lot, but he did bottom line, he did a fantastic job with this title run. I may be a little biased, but I think it was better than Super Hippos, but that's just me being a little biased. Maybe people, I won't be, surprised if they feel different, but CT Martin, all the credit in the world, CT Martin, he won, fair and square, got the win. And the write-up, very, very interesting the way the write-up went. CT Martin basically told the Blissful Enigmas, hey, earlier in the show, he had like a little, locker room chatter basically. And he said, hey, don't come out there tonight. I want to win this one on my own. And during the match, they came out to help him, and he wasn't that happy about it. So that, I don't know, what's really going on with that, but either way, CT Martin did get the win, and all the credit in the world to him, man. Good job.
Yeah, it was a good win, yeah.
What's up?
If I can jump in,
sure.
I think there was a thing in character chat where he actually left the Enigmas.
Come again? Oh, that's something that I would. What do you mean he left the Enigmas?
Like afterwards?
No, in the character.
Oh,
chat,
I'm looking at. I asked for the Enigmas to stay out of my way at SummerSlam, but they didn't listen. I shouldn't be shocked. As the faction, we cheated and bullshit our way to when everyone. I have to go back and it's a decent amount, so I'm not going to read it all on here. But
to be fair, the Enigmas did win. Redhead, CT, and
true.
Scrolling down, there they are. Adnex and Junction,
all won,
wins.
all victorious.
Yep.
This is the conclusion of CT Martin, that I will end my career in the JRPL by tapping out the slimy son of a bitch in the middle of the ring. He's calling out a match against Junction, I think. Yeah, I challenged Junction to a one-on-one match at All Out. So, okay. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I totally looked over that one. That is an interesting development. So,
as
yeah.
someone who was warring with the UVC for a while, I like that. I'll beat one, now I'll beat the other one. I kind of like that.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, a lot going into that. We're going to see, at All Out what happens there. But, I'm just, was a little sad that my boy Bastion took the loss. But what can you do? It was a rough night. It was a rough night for the UVC, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, speaking of, the next match is LJ defeating Bomber 48-44. If Bomber loses, he is fired for good from the JRPL.
Yep.
He lost, so he is fired for good from the JRPL.
Yeah.
The board has spoken.
The board has what an interesting board we have too. This whole thing has been and by the way, for those of you who are wondering, I never have or ever would have thrown a match. So yes, I 100% tried my hardest, 100%. LJ beat me straight up, so good job first of all to LJ. Got the clean win there from me. No, the whole storyline that we've been going through, I knew it was going to lead to this moment, and this was always going to be the not outcome, but the final match stipulation in our feud here. This was always going to be the case.
And this goes back to Mania, when the whole this was a happy accident of an awesome feud that came out of oops.
The night before Mania, yeah.
We're going with it. Okay, this is it. Let me make it up to you. Let's do this.
Yep.
And you turned into this awesome feud.
Yeah, no, and it's definitely one of my favorite I've been involved in. I think my number one probably is the one with you, Woody. But I think this is a close second with Cam, the one with Cam being my third favorite. If that one was just more consistent, who knows? Maybe the one with Cam would have been my favorite. But either way, I think this turned out super well. LJ... He pulled out some heel tactics almost in the character chat with Ward. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're like this super baby face right now. What's going on? Don't be going too crazy here. But everybody can do what they do. Bomber basically caused himself at this point in the night, at this point in time when this match happened, it was to be believed, and this has always been my idea for the story, was that Bomber screwed over LJ. He faked the test results. He's the one that tried to slow down this up-and-coming guy. And as we'll talk about at the very end, that I always had this swerve planned where Bomber was the one that was getting screwed over by somebody else. So that was always my plan from day one. That Bomber almost, I wouldn't say a full face turn, but
that's what I was thinking. Like, is it like a face turn? What? Okay.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. I'm on board. I was when I was reading that part, I was like, what? Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
Because honestly, I lament the fact that we never had our proper feud. Me and you, Bomber. That was literally the inevitable end goal.
Yeah.
Of like this whole arc, because I like, because Red has often said like, oh, you gotta go heal and we could team up at that point. I'm like, that'd be cool, but like forever away from this. There's so much more to do as a face first, and fighting you was probably the main thing. Like after that, who knows? Yeah. But yeah, so seeing this and having that match, was it was always the career on the line idea?
My plan was always to have the career on the line at this show. Yeah.
You should have told me that. I wouldn't have done the same thing.
I mean, I didn't. I mean, I understand. I didn't want you to think that I was like cramping on your style or whatever. But yeah, this was the idea for a long time. I probably should have told you. I do agree.
I declared mine first, but you had yours first, I think is what it is there. So it came off like, oh, you're doing yours after, when I literally you had this planned all along.
Sure, yeah, that was my fault.
Because I toyed with it for a bit. But at the same time, I think it works where it's like, look, you want to talk high stakes? These are ones like, this is like Bomber's back is against the wall. The heel has his last thing. For me, it was just like a matter of pride and stuff. So it still comes off different. It's still fun. I had no problem with it. I was kind of like, okay, yeah, the originals are risking it all. Let's see what happens. So
yeah. Oh, Vitamin Yes just posted in the Twitch chat. By the way, if Kofi won, Bastion would have won by 2 points. So yeah, there you go. So Bastion, that match
that cost you
out
too, right?
Yeah, I put 9 points on Kofi. I don't know what LJ put, but I know I almost top locked it. So that really cost me. I mean, he may have put high points on it too, but yeah, I threw a lot of points. That hurt me. I know for sure, especially my score. But yeah, the way the write up went, I took a Samoan spike, which is LJ's finisher, and got my foot on the bottom rope. I didn't do it quite kick out because me, I hate fucking people kicking out of finishers, but I wasn't gonna let Bomber, his career end with one finisher, so I had him still have enough in him to get his foot on the rope and to survive. But then I went to come off for Dean Ambrose. Sorry, that's what he used to be called. John Moxley's. I don't even know if he does it in the Indies yet, but jumps off the top rope with the elbow that he always does. Usually does it to a standing person. And I went with that and then caught the second Samoan spike in midair and took me out for the final, for the completely clean victory for LJ, putting him over a big time. And then Bomber basically got on the mic, lashed out at everybody. And I made sure not to reveal that, that he didn't really do the stuff, because at this point, if you were reading through the show, the correct way, like as the show happened, it would have made sense. But he just basically lashed out at everybody, and then he got tased and taken out of the arena in cuffs and fired for good. So what are your guys' thoughts on? I guess we'll start with you, Woody. What are your thoughts on the way it went down, and in the thoughts of Bomber being fired? And yeah.
Oh, it's always good. It's always good to see Bomber get egg on his face. So that may just be me, but it was a good story. It was a fun little match. This gets LJ like in that view of like rising up the card and everything, which is always nice. I think LJ is gonna do some big things here, and the end with like the getting arrested and tased and all that was really a nice touch.
Yeah,
that reminds me of Jericho when he got fired. He was dragged out kicking and screaming.
Yes,
it's very fitting. It's exactly that. That was my view of that. It's like, yep, he, even though he went down, no, he's not even that you think like later on in the story he's getting screwed over, but more just the character would not take this. He would be frustrated. He would be screaming, and yeah.
And at TakeOver, see, I had a confrontation with the Mr. Schneider or Schreider. Or I don't even know how to pronounce it. This is the way I spelled it, but I think it's Schreider. Schreider.
I don't think you did Schneider. I think you did Schreider.
Schreider, Mr. Schreider, the board member, where he basically laid out that, hey, Bomber, yes, we know that you faked it and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And the way I had Bomber react, which I hope it came off that way, was like, oh, that's bullshit. I didn't do that. Like thinking like, oh, yeah, he totally did, but he's just saying he didn't. But actually, when you come to find out, he did not fake the results. It was somebody else. So I was trying to, psych people out like, oh, he's saying, trying to think one thing while Bomber's actually telling the truth. But of course, you're not going to want to believe Bomber. He's this piece of shit. And he has done bad things along the way, though. So he's not completely, the super good guy. But yeah. So what, I mean, did you say your thoughts on Bomber getting fired, Scott?
I like it in the sense of the story, because it's like he literally, in this moment, got comeuppance that everybody had wanted.
Yeah.
Storyline wise, like it finally happened, and it was like the new guy got the rub. LJ did it. He got wronged more than anybody actually had, and he's the one that did the final nail. That's good. That's good story. I like it. I like it there. We'll come to the other part of it after.
Yeah. Okay.
But for what happened here, it was like, wow, that's pretty definitive. But I mean, it's wrestling, so like literally the Kevin Owens thing, people were like, yeah, he might lose, but he won't be gone for good. Like it's wrestling. No one's ever gone for good. I mean, come on. So, but yeah, it definitely was a good way. Like the bad guy lost, good and proper, and it was satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So next
we have a match where nobody lost. It was the death match.
God.
Tournament of Death 3 final for the Ultraviolent Championship. Faction mates, champion Hawk faced Jace Villain 13, and it went to a 53-53 no contest.
How did this happen? How the fuck did this happen?
Very carefully.
Oh my God.
What basically happens then is the faction won the tournament.
Jeez.
Technically, nobody won that. It was no contest, so there's no winner. So there was no Tournament of Death 3 winner. But Hawk, therefore, retains.
Yeah. Hawk is, still the Ultraviolent champion.
There was talk about the tournaments before where if the champion's in a thing and it goes to a no contest, technically it would have been vacated, essentially. But, not the final, so
yeah.
Hawk retains.
Yeah, so immediately when I saw this, I went, God damn it, are you kidding me? Because me and no contest, especially in tag team, in tournaments. Oh my God.
In a death match, no less.
And the fact that, you know how hard it is to tie in a death match? Unless you're trying, it's fucking hard. So the fact that this happened is super rare and crazy to think about. But I guess as far as the write-up went, Jace told me he wanted to have some kind of a crazy spot where they both go. Let me see what he sent me, because I didn't exactly go with what he said. I went with the gist of what he said. I know you're in the chat, Jace. Tell me. Hopefully you're not mad about that. I did a little bit of a tweak. So he says, I don't really have an idea for the write-up since Hawk and I tied. Only thing is, we both do something crazy on the stage, and we're put out on stretchers. We do the fist bump, that kind of stuff. So I thought, you know what? This is, Tournament of Death. Let's do something, because, we've seen stuff off stages before. Let's do something off the roof of the overhang in the parking lot. And I'm like, well, what are they going to go through? We can't have just tables set up, because that would be too predictable. So I was like, what about?
You're going to put one on the roof of a car. It's a SummerSlam tradition.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I mean, you always see those 18-wheelers that haul the gear and the ring equipment and all the lights and all that stuff. So it's like, how about we do it onto the truck, and instead of just doing it and land on it, how about they go through the roof of it and then they get taken out? So that's what we went with, and then we did the whole stretcher thing where they gave the fist bump and all that and got hauled away with their guys coming with them. So so that's how it went.
I like that their storyline is that they're crazy enough to go at it against each other at that level. Like they're faction mates and they're together, but they're not going to hold back. So that's great. But then at the end they fist bump. You're like, yeah, it was good. Like that. I don't know why, but that fist bump just made me go like, yeah. Like that's a face turn if there ever was one. If they weren't already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a moment where the fans are like, I love both these guys.
Yep.
That's a great little moment with the fist bump.
Yeah, no, that was a good idea for that. That was Jace going in, throwing that out there. So
nice,
all him. Yeah. So also in my eyes, what I we'll talk about something later on as far as what's going to be going on in All Out. But if I was not fired and still in control of the JRPL, I would have a rematch at All Out to determine the Tournament of Death winner. That's what I would do. But who knows? We'll see what happens down the road. But you know me though, I can't have a tournament. There can't be a no winner of a tournament. You got to have. I understand if it's in the middle of the tournament, but the end, you got to have a rematch. You got to have that TOD final, baby. But
or some kind of like sudden death, something to make it continue. But yeah, like so what stipulation now?
There's only one stipulation that guarantees like there's no tie, and that's an Iron Man match. I don't know if they want to do that. I'm just gonna say that's the only stipulation that guarantees a no contest. So.
Storyline wise, it kind of works because if the guys go out that crazy and it's that good, we'll do an Iron Man match and it guarantees an hour or half hour, or whatever of that. That works storyline wise. But I don't know if
Hawk says we'll just split the trophy and call it. I was like I said, that's what he said in Twitch
because
chat.
they were in the same faction. That's what kind of makes me laugh at it. It's like they both win, but no contest. Neither actually won.
Yeah.
Maybe co-champions.
Co-champions. Oh, now you're really trying to drive me up the wall, Woody. What are you talking about? You know me. You're trying to kill me here.
Next up, speaking of championships, we're going to continue on. This one has a title change because of the situation from the night prior, where the Finn did not get pinned.
Yep. Even
though he's on the losing side, he faced Ash in. Honestly, a renewal of an awesome classic best of 5. Which, did it start at SummerSlam?
No, that was the second match, I believe, on there.
That's right. I think that I was mistaken on it. It started right around SummerSlam. So here we are 1 year later with two-time champion Ash facing off against his former nemesis, the Finn, and he lost the world title to him, 55-49. The Finn wins the world title in an awesome full circle storytelling moment. I think that was
I agree.
Of accidents with that NXT thing. That's such a cool moment.
I agree. I planned on I wanted to have Ash versus Finn. As soon as Ash won the world title, I was looking at possible opponents for SummerSlam, and I'm like, the only match that I think can pop up for Ash as an opponent would have to be the Finn. There's nobody that would be more impactful. You can put people in there that would be have a lot of wins going or something like that. But the Finn is so intertwined with Ash storyline wise that it would be perfect for a big SummerSlam feel type match. And I'm glad that he was the one that ended up doing better than Tino and went on to face Ash one-on-one. And I did not anticipate he would win. But hey, like I said, when it's competition, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's a neat thing because when you look at the overall long story of it, the Finn almost won that best of 5.
Yeah,
like that was amazing and epic and crazy how long that went and back and forth. And it was so close to being like needing sudden death beyond that. Sudden death match is what we were toying with it.
Yeah.
And he never quite got the shot. He got a Road Warrior shot out of it, but it's like, oh wait, he doesn't go to every show.
And he won the Road Warrior title, and then took a break.
Yeah,
and then had to give it up to I think it was GMSG won it back. So
he beat Tigress for it.
Yeah.
So Finn was kind of like he's an uncrowned champion. He never lost his belt. He deserves a shot here, and it's like, well, can he actually beat Ash now? And so it's like, oh god, now what? So like that's kind of one of the better rivalries I can think of just pure competition style. Like, Finn Ash broke up, but look at what happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. When Finn Ash broke up, I didn't think we'd have 3 reigns of world champions out of it.
Yeah, no,
I'm telling you. That's not a knock against it. That's just like, holy shit. Wow, look at that.
I think this is I think it's more under the radar type stories and things going on that, I don't think this is, going to be held up with, like, people think when they think of stuff, they're not going to think of Ash and Woody, or Ash and Finn for a major story. They're going to think of, Woody Bomber, Scott and Red, and, Lee and Scott and stuff like that. So I think these guys are, more underrated feud that I think was pulled off very well and very, very impactful. I like using that word. It was very, I think it's one of my favorites. So
mine too. What it was honestly one of the coolest things about the whole war, with 30 goddamn people fighting each other, and then these guys are going at it on their own over there, and then he gets a world title shot and steals the title out of the war.
Yeah,
it's like, oh god, that's so cool with Ash doing that. And now here they are both. They've literally outlasted the war, and they're still going, and they just literally took the title off of one another.
Yep. So,
it's cool.
Woody, what are your thoughts? Because you and Ash got some history as well. What are your thoughts on Ash losing the title here to Finn?
Ash is what's a good way to put this? Ash is one of those sleeper hits. Like you don't think a lot. Like you normally didn't think a lot about him, but now he's definitely up there as like one of those who has one of the best years so far. And
true,
him losing to the Finn, it's kind of poetic because like the whole rivalry and everything. But I'm really enjoying his reigns, and hopefully they just they go on from here.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts? Because when you go back and look at the world title history of the JRPL, we're talking about the world title here. When you see the name Finn, do you think, oh well, that name doesn't belong? What are your guys, honest, reactions to when you see the name Finn? Because now, even though we'll get to what happened right afterwards, but it will be there in history. So what do you guys think when you see the name Finn along the other names? I guess Woody, Scott, let you go first, I guess. Who knows?
To me, it doesn't, it's not a surprise, but it is one of those moments where it's like, he hadn't won anything else aside from the Road Warrior, which he gave up because of the schedule of it. Which was, he didn't go for the Road Warrior. We kind of put him there.
Mm-hmm. He was just winning a lot. That's all. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. He's got the 10th reign as champion. And he's the 7th person to do it. So there's literally 3 people are 2-time world champions, Ash included, going into this. And you look at who they are, and they're all established main eventers. Some, like John, not there anymore. But you've got people like that, and the Finn he's never really main evented aside from the feud with Ash, I guess is the way I'm looking at it. But it's not deserving. It's just like he just never quite had that shot at it. So it's like, oh, let's give him the shot. Let's see what it is. I'm not surprised that he took it. At the same time, it's like, oh wow, fuck, he took it. Like there is surprise in there, but I'm not surprised that he did it. But it's like, oh shit, okay.
We definitely have GMSG and Vitamin Yes are saying that he doesn't belong as a champion. What are your thoughts, Woody?
Well, I just want to say to that, he beat him fair and square, 55-49. How does he not belong?
Well, I think they mean I assume they mean like he shouldn't have got the title shot. I assume that's probably what they mean.
Yeah, but he beat him, so he clearly was good enough to do it.
Yeah.
What do you mean he doesn't deserve that? He literally won out of actual competition.
Sure.
It's not like storyline-wise his character
wasn't sharp
enough for it. He literally beat him in a points system game.
Yeah, it's not like
the other guy lost. We didn't script this like Jinder Mahal. Yeah,
I was about to say Jinder Mahal. Yeah, I was about to say it wasn't a Jinder Mahal situation.
He legit fair beat him. Now maybe you think, oh, should he have not gotten that shot? Storyline-wise, you know what? I like him having the shot. If you want to look at who maybe should have got the shot, there's a lot of names in big matches we already mentioned. But this one works for that, and he won it fair and square, period.
Yeah.
Will he be regarded as one of the greats of the championship? That would remain to be seen.
Yeah.
Remember, Matt and I were high on Jinder going in, we're like, hey, maybe he can pull. 2 months later, the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah.
Like you don't know, but you go in like, oh, maybe this is it, because maybe he's got Ash's number, because Ash had his number.
Yeah.
Maybe now he's got. That's twice that Finn's won world titles now. That's not bad.
So what are your thoughts, Woody? When you see Finn's name, what do you think? Like in the history books.
okay, from a storyline like perspective and everything, it makes all the sense in the world, and it's awesome. Like that rivalry gets rehashed at SummerSlam, and we get Finn taking it from Ash. Finn and Ash both having the belt the same night, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. But at the same time, I get where like this. It feels like this came out of nowhere. I get that. It feels like it, but uh, it works for the story, and as long as that happens, I'm cool with a lot of things. So
Well,
I thought it was all right.
also, I see what you're saying where they came out of nowhere, but when you look at like the grand scheme of things, of course, I mean, I wouldn't say like, of course it came out of nowhere. Meaning like this is this is Ash's first challenger for his title. Of course, it's going. This is I don't know how to say it. If it would have been anybody else and they would have won, it would have been like the start of. This is the start of it. This was going to be his first title defense. Do you know what I'm saying? Am I making any sense here? I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I may be a little off. All right, Scott, are you picking up what I'm throwing down here?
I am. It's real hard to explain. I had trouble kind of.
It is the start. But like I'm trying to think in like real life, like whoever Kofi's first fucking defense was against, that was
Dolph.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying like
He had a match or two against Bryan, and it was against Dolph.
I'm saying like yeah. It's the start. It's his first title defense. Of course, it's new. It's out of quote unquote out of nowhere. It's the start of something, and he just happened to lose it.
Look at it this way: you think back on to Bret Hart winning the WWF title from Ric Flair at a house show.
Uh-huh.
This is a famous tag guy who had been IC champ twice. He beats Flair on a house show, and they didn't even really televise it. They just aired it on Superstars. His first defenses were against guys like Razor and Michaels. You might think, oh, those are big names. Not back then they weren't. They were IC guys. Mm-hmm. The main event scene was like Flair and Hogan and Taker and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then Bret's defending it against IC title guys of his ilk. It was like, they're not world title guys. And NWA did the same thing with TNA, with AJ. When he won the world title, he was fighting X Division guys, not world title guys. Whatever. It's just that's how you establish what you've got.
Yeah.
And who knows where it would go with Finn? I mean, honestly, they already had a best of 5 and a few matches since. Who's to say there wouldn't have been more? And Ash wins it right back. If he's not deserving of champion, he's not going to hold on to it. Oh, look, he didn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's not deserving. Just means he lost that one. Doesn't mean he didn't deserve to win it in the first place. This is a 5-day Road Warrior champion, knowing how that works. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't like. Am I going to go down as one of the shittier Road Warrior champions? Yeah, but I got it, and I deserved it, and I had it. So, like, it says it depends on what falls what way. So
I see what you're saying. So I guess let's just go right into it and talk about what happened right after he won.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. JD cashed in on the Finn, and it was 62-55. Yep. That, I do believe, Bomber, is officially the shortest of any championship in the JRPL. There's no time.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Like there was, I think there's been the day-long reigns, and there's been like multiple defenses in a day thanks to stuff
100% the shortest. Yeah, you're right.
But this literally is like 5 minutes if you want to put a time frame on it, because I mean it's in the write-up. Who the hell knows? But he literally came out, attacked him, and cashed in and won. Mm-hmm. And now JD is the world champion. So yeah, if you don't think Finn deserved it, he was champ for 5 storyline minutes.
That's true. Yeah. So. First of all, JD, with the way things turned out, in the very end, the aftermath of, SummerSlam, JD did the perfect thing here and cashed in on this show. I'll say, I think you know what I'm saying. He pulled the right move and cashed in on this show.
Do it because there might not be another one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just try and see what happens.
Yeah. So, I didn't. He didn't know like this was going to be, my last show. Nobody really knew except for one person that this was going to be my last show, and good job on him. That's what I'm going to say that right there. But if you look at it, you get a 10-point bonus when you cash in your Money in the Bank, and even Finn would have beat JD in a straight up one-on-one match. So I mean, Finn did good. I didn't look. Finn had 58, which is a pretty high, not the highest of the night, but pretty damn good score. But anyway,
55.
Yeah, but none of that matters when you cash in the Money in the Bank, which you get the 10-point bonus, which JD did. And just so people know how close This came to happening. Let me see. I'm trying to find JD's messages just to see a timestamp because he messaged me the day of the show, I believe, and told me he was cash. Here it is.
While you look that up, don't forget that Jut beat JD 54-52.
You know what? That happened on another cash-in too. I think when Tino cashed in, he lost his match.
Yeah.
In the earlier in the night, and then won the title.
So like proper Money in the Bank booking.
Oh, there's no timestamp. It tells me the day, but it doesn't tell me the time. He just says, "I'd like to say I'm cashing in tonight," but it doesn't have a time on it. It just says the date. That sucks. But anyway, he told me the day of, which totally fine as long as the only rule was just with Money in the Bank, tell me before the deadline. So he could have told me a minute before the deadline if he wanted. So, and I said okay, and I asked, do you want to cash in before the match starts or after the match? He told me he wants to do it after the match. Now, if I was just booking it on my own, I would, of course, title history purposes, I wouldn't have liked to see a 5-minute reign. So I would have had it happen during. But
therefore, the Finn never would have been champion. That just would have
true.
been champion.
And then he probably, that I don't know if that's the right thing to do because that would have robbed him of a title reign. So that kind of would have been shady. But that's not. I wouldn't have been doing it to screw him or anything. But anyway, what do you guys think about this cash in? We got a brand new, we had 2 world champions, new champions on this show, and JD left with the title. Woody, I guess we'll ask you first. What are your thoughts on JD winning this belt?
Let's ask Woody because he did this last year.
That's true. That's very true.
It's true. It's true to a degree. But I think I announced the prior night that I was doing it.
Yeah, you announced ahead of time.
And won at SummerSlam.
Yep.
By 1 point.
And only one. Exactly. Yeah, only one because of the cash-in.
So both
1 point.
Both Finn and Legit Boss would have won. Would have still been the champion if it wasn't for that bonus. So.
And what I think is extra funny about that is that's 2 SummerSlams in a row where challenger's not really known until beforehand because it was supposed to be John and then things fell through. So SummerSlam world title matches. Who the fuck knows what's going on?
JD just posted in the Twitch chat. Sorry, it was around noon my time, aka 3 p.m. Eastern. So that was an hour before the deadline because the deadline was 4 p.m. on East Coast time. Yeah. So he cashed in an hour before the show. So there you go. But anyway, sorry, Woody. What are your thoughts?
It's definitely a SummerSlam moment. That's a big JRPL moment that we always talk about that people always want to make. And it was nice that it was this show because you don't know what's gonna happen afterwards or what's going on, all things like that. But it's good. Yeah. It's good that big moment.
Yeah, and the way it went down was the Finn was about to use his trusty hammer against Ash and beat his ass with the hammer, and JD came in, clocked him from behind with the briefcase, cashed in. I think he also used the hammer himself too. This is all JD stuff that he sent me that he wanted to have happen, and got the quick win on Finn and celebrated with Team No Chance. So Scott, what is your thoughts on this?
I like it. It's a similar thing to like Orton and Bryan in its way, where it's like, oh, he won. Oh my God, what a moment! What a moment! Oh no, he got stolen from him. Like that's cool. That's fun. I like stuff like that. I know you'd rather not see the title hop like that, and yeah, this is a hop. I'm not going to argue that, but I like seeing that. It's like it's a memorable thing from SummerSlam. Yeah. If anything, it elevates what happened to another level of this feud with Finn and Ash and the world title, and oh my God, he won it. He's got his number. We got to have another rematch, right? Like we got to see. He won the best of 5, but he won the world title off him. Who can win next?
Yep.
Cash in. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna just be that monkey wrench right in the fucking middle. Yeah,
exactly.
So now is there a triple threat? What do you do from here? Like that's lots to work with. It's interesting. So.
Yeah,
I like that kind of stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, and I want to take a little second to point out that this was my prediction. We had at the very beginning of the year we gave our JRPL predictions, and I said I guarantee you by the end of the year, my prediction was JD was going to get the world title at some point, and guess what? Boom, it happened. So my prediction came true. Just want to point that out. So, but yeah, no. People in Twitch chat are saying. Props to Team No Chance for getting all the belts. They are the only faction to have held every every major belt, like every official belt so far. So,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, no, super. That's fantastic for Team No Chance. Good job, guys. There it is. So, good job.
And then we have the main event where I beat Lee 58-40. Thank you, Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton, because Lee put 10 on Kofi.
Yeah.
And that just made
That
sure
match.
that was it. It was going great, and then suddenly, poof, and I lost 1 point and he lost 10, and it was like, well, I got this one in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess so we asked Woody how he felt about everything. What are your thoughts on everything from front to back, and then the outcome here? Scott, that is. Sorry, we'll go Scott first because he's the guy that did it.
Okay.
Okay.
Then me and you, Woody, we'll go after he's done.
Yeah. So the whole Ryder comeback was leading to this. We didn't fucking know when though. And we had literally no plan to make it be SummerSlam until we realized, you know what? Maybe, yeah, that's Toronto. Hey, yeah, sure. And the fact that you thought that the storyline merited the main event meant the world to me. That was just an awesome thing.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, you did the same thing with the Love is Hell in a Cell. That was super high on the card. I was like, what? Why? Really? What? But it's like, hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, it's got a good story. Yeah.
This was chaining off of the stuff where Lee quit. Like after SummerSlam, he legit was unhappy with the wrestling. Like he didn't want to participate in the JRPL, didn't want to do anything, so he legit flat out left.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, oh, Lee should come back. Lee should come back. Like he's gone. Like full disclosure, he's gone.
Yeah.
That put me on the character path of the crazy one-sided, the lone guy going on during war. Then the writer started coming back, and yeah, that was Lee, and we had that planned for a while. Once he decided to come back, and this all coming to a head was like, well, how do we escalate this? Because the story is I don't want to fight him. Like he wants to take me out, like everybody else has, but I don't want to fight him. I want things to go back the way they were. So the idea was like I'll kill the writer to get back Lee. Was kind of the idea there, and I'll risk my career to do it because that's what it'll take. Was the idea there? So a lot different from the your job's on the line situation for yours, Bummer. That's why I think it worked out. It's like, look, if I'm only going to ever have one match with Lee ever, it's the one shot I have, and if I can't beat him, then I don't deserve to be here. That was the idea. Even though, full disclosure, we want to have like 5 more. Like there's got to be a death match, and I quit match, different stuff like that. It was the ideas for stuff like that. But that's once in a lifetime. The first one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was close because we had the same picks and we thought it was gonna be bonuses, and then the whole Kofi thing happened. It's like, oh fuck, there we go. That's that. Lee's story was he wanted to establish himself more like technical than the brawling, but the whole attack on my family the day before twisted it where I was going to go in there brawling, and we played with the idea of our 2 characters. And yeah, I went out there going for broke to go for the win, to go for taking him out, doing whatever it took, because he made it personal more than it was with the family attack. So, and the idea there is if he gets me emotional, I get DQ'd. He wins, I'm gone. So, classic stuff with a career type match like that. And yeah, it was. I don't want to say this straightforward. Like I added the blood at the very end. I was like, yes, this needs blood. This should get bloody,
especially with the contract signing with your dad's blood and everything. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that was the idea there. The other main part of it was he escaped from my submission. That was my idea. I didn't even tell him about it.
And nobody's done that, right? Like,
nope.
Cleanly?
That's why.
Yeah.
Nope. Nobody's done that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never sworn from my own write-up. I know there was a point when I said like "fuck you, Red," but I didn't write that part. I'm like, that didn't happen. I swore to kill that motherfucker when he attacked my dad. So like, there's those moments to escalate it when you have it happen. And he escaped because the mask got loose. He got out of it with the blood, but when I went for it again, he couldn't get out. And I always thought the idea of walking up the corner, like the old Bret Hart, Roddy Piper thing, where he walks up the corner and pins when he's in the sleeper. Well, what if you just like do a sit-down drop? And I figured that's a good way to end it, like a sudden out of nowhere moment. So he got out of it. We did back and forth, and we did that. And then had the big awesome celebration, the whole Canadian Stampede style of all the family, and it's great. And like you said, when you said one person knew the last show, that was me. So I was like,
Yep.
whatever you want to do, chain off of that. You want to be a big ass heel? Go for it, because the Hero won the main event in his hometown. Spin from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea what was coming from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did write it. I did write it in there where I wanted the motion for the world title, because storyline-wise, I've won every main show I've been on, aside from Cassius with the no contest, and Money in the Bank.
Yep.
I've literally not lost on a main show otherwise. So I'm like, I would this now is the let's go for the world title, and the overall eventually is another match with Lee. And that would be where things go from there. So I kept that world title. I call for the championship because the crowd would go nuts for that. They want to see me do it. I'm finally chaining together the wins when they matter, starting with WrestleMania and here. And I seem to get myself in storylines where the face really has to win, and thankfully is. So,
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, it was honestly much more straightforward than most of the ones we have. Because he had ideas. I think that was probably the most fun part about it. I had no idea the stuff he wrote. He just told me, yeah, I'm going to go brutal. Okay. He said, you go brutal back. Okay, so we wrote our own pieces and didn't know what the other wrote.
Yeah.
So that's what got sent to you. I know it's a little more work for you to do
So
that,
wait a minute.
but-
So when you sent me your stuff,
Yeah.
you didn't see what he sent as well?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no. He
You
told
guys,
me.
You guys.
He said, I'm going to have a bit, like, it's going to turn around when I come in, like, I'll get you out of the ring. And that'll be where we turn around and go toward the finish. I'm like, okay, I can go from there. And I did that piece. So we literally...
Did he see your stuff?
No. But I told him, here's how I want to start it. I'll go over the top and the... Yeah, no.
That's weird because the stuff that he sent me, I didn't have to include it. Some of it, I mean, some stuff I obviously did, but some of the stuff that you wrote was some of the stuff that he wanted to have happen already. So I was like, okay, well, so I didn't include some. I don't know exactly specifically what it was, but I just remember seeing it and like, oh, well, he's already wrote that part.
But there was okay. So if he won, he showed me that after, because when he lost, he's like, "Here's what it would have been." He was gonna break my leg. Is what it's gonna be.
Oh god damn!
Because I was gonna be gone. Like it was gonna be the tearful farewell in the ring with the flag. He'd come in, beat the shit out of me, take the flag, and that's the Hero's been destroyed.
That would have been pretty crazy.
Oh, and my dad was gonna have the flag and throw it in like throwing in the towel because I would refuse to quit. That was the idea.
Man! Oh, don't be telling us all this because now we're like, man, we want that to happen. We wish that happened.
Oh no, we can still do that. It's fun.
Yeah.
That's the someday stuff. But that was the idea. So he showed me that after. I went, well, I like how that works until the part where he wins. So I took that and wrote it in for how we went back and forth.
Okay.
So that's probably where you saw that.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I figured like this is good. Let's use it.
Yeah. So I guess so Woody, what were your thoughts on the main event and how everything went down, shook down?
Looking back at the SummerSlam main event of the JRPL, I think it's probably my favorite one.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely the one that had definitely the most story and stuff behind it. But yeah, because the first one was a triple threat to crown the first ever champion, where John won. And then the last year's was when you cashed in your Money in the Bank ahead of time. You did do it ahead of time, and you beat Legit Boss. So I mean, those both were good. Big title changes.
But not the emotional story that Scott and Lee had.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
Appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm. Any other? Did you wish Lee got the win? You can say it. I know Scott's here, but you can go ahead and say it. You can go ahead
Absolutely.
and say it.
Trust me.
It would have been an interesting story element. Definitely, I would want to see where that went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can tell you, Bomber, if I've always had it where if I lost, it almost would be a better story because that's how it was for a while.
Mm-hmm.
If I lost, well, yeah, I would have gone dark. I would have been like, no, Scott's gone.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, like, it would have been something somewhere. I was like, I don't know, maybe a Survivor Series, or like that. It's a good moment. Like, man, who's the fifth man? And there's ways to do that for that kind of stuff. But I was all on board for actually doing that and like living the gimmick for that kind of thing. Absolutely.
Sure. As far as
you broke my leg.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as Woody for sure about. I think this is my favorite SummerSlam main event that we've had. I think storyline wise, though the whole your dad throwing the flag in as like the towel would be super cool. Storyline wise, Scott had to get this win. Almost just like against Red, the other major feud you went through. Because it would have been cool to see Lee, in that moment get the win, but in the end, the story wouldn't have been, as, there's that word again, impactful, if Scott got the loss here. So, storyline-wise, I think that it worked out with Scott getting the win.
There was always the possibility of he attacks me anyway and takes away my victory moment. And still attacks me and still takes my leg out and still I'm gone. That was always a plan like C that we had in there.
Yeah, okay.
Because that I got the win, but yeah, he broke my leg.
Here's a question. Here's a question for you in regards to that. For those who didn't hear clearly earlier, yes, Scott was the only person that I filled in on when it came to, the announcement of what we're about to talk about. But would you have done that if you knew the JRPL would continue the way it's been going? Because that sounds like something like a good way to continue, with him attacking you at the end to continue the story. But did you change it to be just the feel-good moment since you knew this is going to be my last show?
Maybe. It's hard to say because he already did that to me at WrestleMania. So him again is, if anyone does it, it's him, and that's real good. And that means this isn't over. I might have got the win, but that wasn't it. Maybe that was a possibility there. I even said when you told me that, I was trust me guys, I was like, really? Shit.
Oh no, yeah.
Fuck. Damn no. So I talked about it, but don't worry.
Yeah.
100%. And I still don't do it.
No, I know, yeah.
It's too late. But yeah. But I did even say okay, so should I not do the career thing? Because it's kind of moot, right? And you're like, no, don't. We're not going to do it. We'll keep that going. Okay. So
I didn't want anybody to change any plans because I didn't want him to for years ago. Other people, I went through the same thing. I didn't want anybody to change something because of what I was going to do, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But
so I didn't know that I was the only one that knew. I just knew that I was first.
Yes.
So
you and I guess technically Kyoko, if you want to get it technical, I guess obviously Kyoko knew.
Because you told me that you talked to her about it. So I'm the second one.
I've talked to her about the whole situation so much, coming up with the outcome. So
it was tempting, but I will be honest, knowing that it was potentially the end, I was like, you know what? Let's send the crowd home happy. Let's have the moment. Let's have the hero moment. Let's embrace that. Because I've selfishly had a lot of the losses when it mattered, but I'm on a run like no other, and fuck it, let's run with it. and let's embrace it. Come on. So,
then I swept that good feeling right out from under you.
Like I said, be a heel. So when you had that write-up, it was there. I'm in the ring with my family, covered in my own blood, with the flag around me, and the crowd's like, the fuck is this now?
Yeah.
And you, I thank you for that because it makes it better because I didn't have to do the moment of Lee getting the thing.
Yeah.
Now it's literally Hiro did the biggest heel thing against Scott and the fans at home. Oh man. Oh, it's so vile. I will say, I even said in Discord, the storyline says I should face you. No. I will not give you that satisfaction. I should avenge everyone, even Bomber. I did say that in my write-up in the Discord character chat. Because you kind of face turned a little bit. Yeah. So what are we doing now? But I'll tag you in for that one, and you can talk about this part now.
So yeah. So the final, I'll just briefly talk about what happened in the write-up, and then we'll talk about the reality of stuff. So in the write-up after Scott wins, like he just said, he's celebrating. He's got his family. Everybody's in the ring. Out comes Mr. Schreider, the JRPL board of director member, who, he's been tangled up in the whole Bomber thing this whole time. He congratulated Scott on his victory. And I threw in a couple lines that I really liked. It was it's got it right here. You are the hero that this country and this company needs. You truly are. But before we end the show, I need to make an announcement, blah, blah, blah. And then later I jump back into this. I close the show with, Hiro comes out and he says, I know Mr. Schreider said that you're the hero this company needs, but not even a hero could save this company. That's pretty good. I really like that one. I really like that one. Yeah. But anyway, so out comes Hiro Shin-Mozas, or Hiro Shin-Mozas, however you want to pronounce it. I've been trying to talk to this man on Discord for a little while, for a while now, trying to this is the idea of how I thought of the league ending was. I was trying to think. It wouldn't make sense for Bomber if I won, for example, if I would have stayed in the company and whatnot. Bomber, storyline wise, he loves the league. Well, I guess reality too. But he wouldn't do anything to, kill the league. That wouldn't make any sense. It would be almost, it wouldn't make sense. So the way I decided to end the league, which made the most sense by ending it from the person who wants to kill the league. Hiro has been, MIA since Extreme Rules, so I didn't actually get to talk to him about this, but I think he would have been down for it, and since he didn't, it almost turned Hiro into this, NPC type character, where, almost like Mr. Schreider, he's just there to get to progress something. And, so that is the reason why Hiro came out and exposed the whole plot of he was the one that planned. You need to go, if you haven't read the final section of the write-up, please go do. I try to plan out all of almost like an evil villain. He's laying out his plan, I did this and then I did this. Did you not pay attention to that? Well, I did this. He's basically the one that got Bomber fired. He's the one that got him removed from the board so he could take that spot on the board. That's the way the story went down. I always had that plan that Bomber was going to be a person that got replaced by somebody. I didn't have that person picked out. It wasn't originally going to be Hiro. It ended up being that way because of the way things progressed, and it made the most sense. But there was always going to be a person that was going to replace Bomber. Storyline on the board. I just want to point that out. It just kind of got a little accelerated storyline wise. This may have went on a little bit longer, but we'll get to that stuff in a little bit. But this part that you read, if you did read it, always was the plan, and it was Hiro here. So basically, bottom line, he comes out and says that he's already got all the paperwork signed. He wasn't at the shows because he was busy taking care of business, I guess is the way I described it. Because he did no-show these last two shows. And basically, he says that he has signed off on the JRPL closing down, and since JRPL All Out has already been booked, that will be the JRPL's final show. Now, when I talked to you, Scott, this was not the case. I came up with this idea the week of the show. This was going to be the JRPL's last show for anybody out there listening.
What you told me was it's being shut down after SummerSlam. Those
Correct.
were the words.
Correct.
So I was like, okay, well, this is it. It's gonna and you didn't. Okay, so Bomber wanted to tell people for 2-3 weeks, but didn't want to tell people because would people be bummed? Would people not show up? Who knew?
Yes.
You want to talk about a tough call? I literally don't know what I would have done in that situation.
Yeah.
But as far as I knew, this was it.
And this was the full intention until the week of, yeah.
And literally, when these results came out, which I think was Thursday or Friday, in the write-up says All Out's the last show. That was news to me. I was like, what?
I did not, correct. I didn't tell you.
Another one.
I didn't tell you that. I'm telling you, look, it going into this show, going into SummerSlam, it was the last show. There was going to be no All Out. I decided that after the actual physical SummerSlam happened. I talked to Jess about it, and I said, you know what? Because bottom line, I love the JRPL so much, so I don't know if somebody thinks that I hate it or I'm tired of it. Not the case. Not the case at all.
We'll get to that, too.
So bottom line, I wanted to give people one final show where they knew, where they could, quote unquote, it's perfect, the name, All Out, where they could go all out and do anything they wanted. I recorded a video for Patreon where it's like a 23 minute video. I just I just opened myself up and I talked about every little detail and why I'm doing everything, why this is going on, what's happening. And I talk about, I'm going to have one last show for everybody. I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm going to bring people on to actually do everything. I don't want anything to do with the show. I want everybody to have this one last show any way they want. They can book any matches. They can do anything they want. And at the very end of the video, I said, you know what, though? I'm a title history guy. I said, no titles will be on the line, though. I said they can do anything they want, but don't put any titles on the line. That's what I said in this video. So, And Bastion says, honestly, I wish you would have released it as a Patreon supporters. I had a really, this is like a really big, I know this is the JRPL and something, that we do for fun and stuff, but I had a really hard time. After I've done the video, I had a really hard time and felt so bad. I couldn't, stomach posting the video because I don't want the JRPL to be over. I don't want any of that.
It would make it real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I felt super bad. And I even announced it. I made thumbnails for it. And the video is uploaded. The video is uploaded already, ready to go on YouTube. All I have to do is literally post the link. Everything's ready to go. It's been ready for a while. I just didn't have the, stomach or heart or whatever you want to call it to post it because it sucks. So I just posted the results and said, you know what? I'm going to let everybody read the results. I'm going to let everybody, digest it, calm down and stuff. And then I'll come out and talk about the all out situation and what we're going to do there. So that's what we did.
And yeah. I'll just say here, when it came out, people were like, oh, okay, so this is an interesting storyline, was the reactions. Because people didn't realize until you're like, no, this is legit. Mm-hmm. You had to start clarifying it in the main Discord.
Yeah.
This isn't just storyline. This is happening.
And there's so many things that, I don't want to be, cliche and stuff, but broke my heart with Buck N5 saying, oh, please, I hope this is kayfabe because I'm going to be really sad and that kind of stuff. And then Jace, let me tell you, he's dealing with a lot of stuff personally right now. And he goes, yeah. Oh, and now this news too. And I'm like, okay. All right. Now guys, let's. And I see what Red's saying. Patreon supporters should get the perks and hear the news first. That is true. And look, it's not like I didn't do it, to screw you guys over and not give you the stuff. It was literally hard for me to do it. So I wasn't ready to share it. So
that's also a weird thing to put for Patreon only, considering now a handful of people know something that nobody else knows. That's just a weird situation when it's this.
Yeah, and I was still willing to do it, but it was just too, I guess the easiest way to say it is it was too hard.
Well, yeah, and we knew that we were going to do a WoodYaTalk.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was an inevitability, and we're here for you to help to make it. Yeah, it makes it real, but we got you.
Yeah. Oh, and Vitamin says. Yeah, and Vitamin says that news was too important to put behind a paywall. It was not like I was only going to get it to them. It was a heads up. It was more of a heads up. Even the video, I talk about how, I'm so thankful and you guys, super thankful for any of the Patreon supporters that we have. And who knows? I might now that I say this, I might go out and post it after the fact, so those of you can actually see it afterwards. But
think of it this way: if it was Patreon paywalled, that would have been Friday. And we were planning on a WoodYaTalk for today anyway. Yeah. So it would have been a 2-day thing. So people would have all known, but it would have been, that's the time frame.
Yeah. But anyways, the bottom line is we went forward and we picked out a group of, I believe, 5 or 6 people that want to put together this final show of All Out. And side note, you don't think Victory Green just showed up out of the blue, did you? By the way, you don't you think Victor Green just showed up out of the blue for SummerSlam? I went on Twitter and I individually messaged every person that left the JRPL, and I said, hey, I didn't tell them this is our last show. I individually messaged every person and said, hey, really big show, SummerSlam. It'd be cool if you returned even for a one-off for SummerSlam, because I wanted those people to be on that final show. And unfortunately, it was only Victory Green that showed up. I messaged Tagaby, all kinds, everybody that basically were, even John. I have John on there, and I messaged him. I messaged everybody to hopefully they showed up and they were part of that final show, even if they weren't in a story, just to be on the final show for me. So Victory Green didn't show up randomly out of nowhere, by the way.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep. I do wish more of them showed up, but I wasn't gonna expose, hey, this is our last show, so I wasn't gonna say that. But anyway, so we have our people. They are putting together the show. They have a lot of matches already scheduled. It looks crazy. And guess what? I didn't put any brakes on the process of them building the show. They've went ahead and booked title matches, And you know what? I originally, in that video that I posted on, that I was going to post on Patreon, I said no titles to be on the line. We'll just have a show where we just have fun. No titles on the line. I'm not going to be involved. If they want titles on the line, I guess I'm just going to go back and just say they can have whatever they want. So judging by what they're booking, there will be titles on the line. So heads up on that.
I mean, if it's called All Out, you got to go all out.
Sure. There's no real reason not to, I guess, besides like, is it a house show or a main show? It's the last show. So, I mean, it's whatever, I guess. It's the show to go all out. So, yeah, they have the card booked. I'll let them give it to you guys. Like I said, I'm going to show them. I plan on streaming, hopefully maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, whatever it is. I'm going to stream editing the website. Anybody can show up. If you want to see how the website's done, just if it piques your interest, I don't know. I'm not telling you have to, but I'm going to stream like a tutorial for these guys that are going to update the site, and they're going to watch how I update the card, how I update the results, and all that stuff in between, so you guys can, so they can see how it's all done, so they can do it themselves, because I am not going to do it. They are going to be the ones that put this show together. It's going to be all them. I'm turning over the keys, basically, as they say, over to this group to see how they do on this show. And they look like they really want to do the best show that they can, and I think they're going to do good. I hope they do good.
Yeah, and I'll say I normally would have been all about jumping on that to help out with stuff, because, you know, I'm all about the booking and the creative. We talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
For that kind of stuff. But with me being like, I want the world title, that'd be weird if I was involved in that. So I literally put out nothing toward that. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. If I'm competitor, that's my role in it. That's all I'm gonna go for it, because that would be that. I feel that'd be weird if I got a title shot of any kind. That would be odd if I was on the booking committee as well. But then again, I'm making a case. Look at the match. Yeah. So yeah. My question to you, Bomber, is, I mean, Bomber's fired. Are you gonna have a match? You gonna be an appearance, or are you literally gonna watch from pay-per-view? And that's that's the cutaway we see is Bomber watching from a bar. Like, that's something, because Bomber's got to be on the last show somehow.
I mean, I have no plans on being on the final show. I haven't really thought too much about it, but I didn't plan on being on that show since I'm, you know me, I'm more old school. I like the, you know, if there's
your story's done. If
there's a stipulation, I like to uphold it. And I think it would be super weird if I like show up on the very next show. So at the moment, I'm thinking I will not be on the All Out show. And it'll be the first show that I miss, obviously, because, you know, obviously. Yeah. What else? Somebody said something else. Just curious what the main event will be. Well, hopefully they post it. They'll let you know. I will not expose any of their match.
Yeah, the
talks.
card still just says it was that guy Jack versus Switchblade.
Yes,
nothing else is on.
Yeah, it hasn't been updated. By the way,
it's not coming yet. Yeah,
I guess
been released.
I will give you a spoiler and tell you that they removed that from the main event. I'll tell you that. So I guess, and this is they got a little taste of what it's like, you know, running the JRPL in just the matter of like a day. When Switchblade saw that, because they mentioned that he would not be in the main event on general chat, and he messaged me and said, I will read you his message to me. Okay, since I'm not main eventing All Out, even though it's been booked for months, I don't want to be a part of this show anymore. So, there you go. So Switchblade, I guess, won't be on the show as well, because he got the main event swapped on him. I guess he still, even though it's like the last show, I guess he still wanted to be in the main event. So that's funny. So I linked that to them, like, hey, you guys, go, hey, welcome to my world. This is just a slight smidgen of taste of what it's like.
And ironically, Woody knows about that all too well as well.
Sure.
Having been GM for 3 months back last year.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And just like pretty much when Woody was in charge, Switchblade's in the chat. That's right. We're talking about you, motherfucker. Yeah, just like when Woody was GM, I legit let him do what he wanted to do. I didn't. I maybe had a very few things that I like put the brakes on, but I let you book everything pretty much as you wanted it. So I'm letting these guys do the same thing, except I'm not giving any breaks to these guys or putting any breaks on. I'm letting them do what they want to do. And I will say, I was looking at the card. It's already a card that I would despise as a booker, by the way. You're going to see, like there's some stuff on there that like, I would be like, you would never see me book that. But you know what? I trust these guys. They want to go all out. Hey,
that's the name of the game.
I respect them to put together a card that they want to do for the last show and go all out.
My question of that,
sure.
Is it like not the kind of like is it like stipulation heavy? Like, oh, why are you doing all these goofy things, or is it the matchups?
I'll say it's a little stipulation heavy, but I don't want to discourage them from not using stipulations because I want them to do what they want to do. I'm just saying I wouldn't be going as crazy.
Because you and I have talked about that a lot before.
Yes.
It's like not everything needs stipulation to make it special.
And they're right. Spring
Look
Tigers.
at Lee and I. But at the same time, not everything's going to have that. It's a final show. It's all out. And the fun part about that, too, is if it's the fans, technically the fans are doing it.
Kind of.
Let the fans do their show for the final show. It's like a reunion show a month later.
Yeah, exactly. And Spring Tigers makes a good point in the Twitch chat. Going all out is the theme of the show. I mean, that's
100%.
That's it. So there you go. So I'm sure it's going to be a very good show. I'm not even going to be in town for that show. I'm going to be doing my fantasy draft in Wilmington. So, or I get at my friend at Alaska Browns. I'll be at Alaska Browns house. There you go. During the actual all out show and all that stuff. So I'm gonna not even be around to see it. Unfortunately.
So you'll legit be like Bomber. Like you're fired. You're not involved in it at all.
Yep.
Watching it happen from afar.
Yep.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. So basically, the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be teaching these guys everything, showing these guys everything, and we're going to see how they do. Like I said, I have confidence in them. I hope they do a great job. So we'll see. So the ball is going to be in their court. So to speak.
Are you going to put up anything like an article or even say it in anything as to who they are so people can reach out?
Oh, yeah, I already did, but I can do it again here. I did it in general chat, but I can do it again here. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah, so it's a little more available. Yeah,
sure. The people are CT Martin, Jonathan CT Martin, Jace Villain 13, Luke Gray, Spring Tigress, and Woody. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Now they're going to be in charge of different things. Not everybody's going to be working on the website. Not everybody's going to be writing the matches for the write up. Like they're all going to be doing different things. So, there you go. Those are the 5 people running this all out show. Yes, and people have been talking shit about Luke Gray, like, well, why are you letting Luke Gray? I saw somebody say, oh, you're letting a 13-year-old who just had a birthday, by the way, so I believe he's 14 now, like, in charge of something. If he seems really passionate about it, he really likes it, he's been super active lately, I trust that he's going to do what's in the best interest of the JRPL to have a fantastic show. And he wanted to do it, so give him a shot. I mean, that's pretty much it. I know a lot of people, and I encourage you not to give the guy shit for, trying to help out and trying to, do a good job. That would be, nice. But I can't control what people do. But
if it turns out that what he did was shit, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't know that yet.
If it turns out bad, there you go. And we talked about it before. If I give these people access to the website and they completely they throw up porn or they delete it all and everything and ruin everything that has been done for 2.5 years, guess what? I mean, there you go. I messed up, and I shouldn't have trusted these people, but I'm going to trust them. So I would hope that wouldn't be the case. I hope they all do a good job and do everything, but that's like the one thing that's always been in the back of my head why I didn't want people to help me out is I've always had this fear of somebody screwing everything up and like deleting everything or like ruining everything or doing something.
Even just accidentally, yeah.
Sure, well, yeah.
I think the main part of it here is that the people who are doing it want to.
Yes.
They want to see this go through. They're going to have the best of intentions.
Yep.
It might not be the same as the way Bomber would have done it, and that's what happens when you have a booker change. That's literally what this is.
Sure.
So, so we got Heyman and Bischoff involved. Now it's like, okay, here we go. We got different people in charge with different mindsets. And the good thing is there's 5 of them, so they're going to bounce off each other, I hope, and figure out the best way to do things.
Yep.
And not just go crazy with stuff. or maybe they do. Oh,
Well, for the show, I mean, I do understand that they are literally going all out, but I'm just saying, like, that's not how I would have booked it. But who knows? Maybe I would have booked it for a final show. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. I still think it'll be good. I like how word in the chat is we've piqued his interest once I brought up porn. Now he's interested and he's involved now.
Well, he wanted a hardcore match, all Solution members against each other. So if that's the kind of hardcore he wants, well,
yeah. I will say this: I don't know what I was doing. I looked at the chat a little bit after I formed like the little chat group on Discord, and I came back to hundreds of messages on like them talking about this show that they've like planning stuff out and going through. I'm talking about hundreds of stuff that they already talked about. And cool. They were like, "What do you think?" Like Luke was like, "What do you think about what we're talking about?" I'm like, "Dude, you guys have 100 messages in here. I'm not reading all that. I trust you guys. I'm not giving you any changes or anything. I'm gonna let you guys do what you want." So they're really. I'm trying to say that like they're super involved. They're really getting into it. They're getting their hands dirty. You know, they're getting in there and talking about this final show. So they're not just lounging around. So they're excited. So you guys should be too, I think.
Oh, I'm pumped. I'm excited to see what comes of it.
Yep.
How crazy it can get is always fun to see. Because even though I might not have booked it that way, I love it when it happens that way. So I'm on board for that kind of thing. When Woody is involved in it. So how's it going so far, Woody?
Yeah. Since you're an insider, do you think it's going good?
I think it's going good. There's a lot of callback stuff, like matches and such that's going to like come full circle. I think
almost like fan service kind of stuff.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Nah.
There you go.
I think it's going to be good.
And I like how Warden says, "Prediction porn, book it, bitches." There you go. There you go. So that's pretty much what the future holds. Is all out. So I want everybody to look forward to that. And I understand if you're sad and you're mad, I'm right there with you. I don't think anybody, I don't want to say I am the most mad or disappointed person that the JRPL, that I'm not going to be, in charge of it, but I'm definitely up there. And who knows, some people are probably super happy about that, but.
So do you want to talk about that now as to why?
Sure. As far as I even talked to Red about it the other day where he was like, well, what happened? Why was it so sudden and stuff? And I believe you did too, Scott, asking me like...
Because we talked about it, and you were like, you'll probably like at least see the year out, go from there.
Yeah.
You got stuff for Survivor Series, here's some ideas going back and forth, and we'll see what happens. And then when you messaged me, I was like, what, really? I thought we were going to keep going, not at least the next show.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah, we had
and then my first question was, everything okay? What, you good? So
first of all, yes, a couple people messaged me that, and thank you for, asking and stuff. But 100%, everything, in real life, everything's good. No problems. There's no, like, mental breakdowns, no life crisis, none of that kind of stuff. So right off the bat, I will say everything is fine. Everything's good, okay? Don't want anybody to be, worried about that. So I guess the best way to answer or give the details on all this stuff is we talked about everything on the state of the JRPL. Everything, most people are really happy with everything. And I express my concerns with the amount of time I'm putting into the JRPL with the lack of support of the JRPL. Basically saying I don't want to make it sound bad, but you're realistically saying it's not worth the amount of time that I'm being put in that I am putting into it. That's bottom line. I know it sounds a little rough around the edges to say that, but it's not being worth, the support is not worth the time at the moment. So that was the case before and it's the case now, but things sped up and ramped up when I one night I had an epiphany, almost a realization, a reality gut check, I guess, if you will, with the way things have been going and the way my progress has been on my other projects as far as, just Jobber Radio YouTube channel and my other personal YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel that I run. I'll just say Jigsaw. I'll just say a Jigsaw channel that I run. But I had a friend that I recently here. I'm just like giving you the quick story here. I moved from Charlotte to here Norfolk about in February, and then in March I doubled down on everything. I'm like, okay, Jess Kyoko has a good solid job that is paying all the bills, and we came to the realization with, you know what, maybe I can use this time while she can pay everything to try to start something on my own and try to, build something that I really care about, the JRPL, the Jobber Radio, my other YouTube channel, the Jigsaw channel, and try to get enough going to where I can support, my half of the deal. And during that time, it started in March is where I said, you know what, I'm doubling down. This is when it's happening. It starts now. I had a friend that started doing the same thing around that time. I won't throw his name out there, but I have another friend that started, working on his YouTube channel and everything at the exact same time, right there in March, beginning of March. And when in about the night this epiphany or whatever you want to call it happened, I just checked on his YouTube channel, and he's doing fantastic. He's blowing anything that I've done so far out of the water. Now, first of all, this isn't like, oh, I'm jealous. I'm super happy for him. But that showed me, because that's all he focuses on is his YouTube channel. But that showed me, and I don't know if I'm going about this the right way, but I'm just being given an honest, being honest about all this stuff. That showed me that it can be done. And you can get that success if you work on it hard enough. But I am always being sidetracked by the JRPL, and it's unfortunately not giving me enough time to focus on the other stuff that I want to do. And there isn't enough support for Jobber Radio, for the Prediction League that is, to continue putting countless hours and weekends and everything. Like 90% of my energy almost goes to the JRPL. And if that was focused the other way, I would be able to build those things up where I can, build a background and a almost like enough revenue, enough stuff generated where it actually is worth my time. So that is why this kind of happens a little more suddenly. Is I discovered what happened, and for him. And I'm seeing that I could be achieving that same stuff, but I'm almost locked down doing the JRPL, which takes up all my time. I don't want to keep repeating myself and rambling, but that is pretty much the gist of it. Does that make it clear, at least, Scott and Woody?
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying I'm right in this. I'm just saying that's my reasoning.
So it's the idea, the mindset there is that you've got two projects. Just to say these two specifically, if you got more, I'm not saying you don't, but it's just there's these two projects you're working on that take up the free time. They're the hobby, or whatever level of it, and they take time from each other. And to make the one better, you got to cut the other one out, or at least cut back on it, or whatever level of it there is.
Correct.
And it just like I don't want to be like the negative guy, even though I often can be. I try to be positive, but there's the very real possibility here that cutting out the JRPL, focusing on the YouTube channel, doesn't grow anyway. It's just
100%. 100%. Yeah.
But the point and the goal to everybody listening that Bomber is taking here is, if he doesn't at least try that, it won't grow.
And I will also say this. Thank you for clearing this up. You said it way clearer than I did, by the way. I'm just like saying the words as they flow into my brain, out of my brain here. I also think that the JRPL, the chance of that bringing in more revenue is way down than the other stuff potentially taking off. So you see what I'm saying?
If it did pay its way, you'd dedicate that allotted appropriate time to it, because there you go. It's worth it.
Oh, yes, 100%. Yeah.
Literally.
100%.
But right now,
yes.
it's not. So
correct.
It's pointing over here instead. Yeah. It's a classic thing. I think it's a Gretzky quote. So, of course, the Canadian's going to bring that out. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's a classic thing, but I apply it to myself as well, because with my GPC stuff and with my video stuff, it's kept me away from actual projects that I've wanted to do, like short films and movies, because I was doing this bi-weekly thing instead. And it's like, how come I haven't written a script in 5 years? Oh, because I was doing this instead. Well, I really should be writing on those. So I cut back on one to focus on the other.
Yeah.
You can't do both unless, hey, if the GPC paid the bills, of course I'd keep doing that. That'd be the way I did it. But it's not. That's hobby. I got to do it that way.
Yeah.
If you want to make it beyond that, you focus on that, and you go when you do what you do. I can say from example that there was a stunted growth on the format that I had. Okay, we got to cut the losses, go somewhere else. I'm not saying that's what this is. The simple idea here is, if you want to make the thought the Bomber's got is he wants to dedicate more into the YouTube channel, Jigsaw and etc.
Jabba Radio, yep.
Exactly. And to be able to do that, you have to cut back on the thing that literally isn't providing anything, which sucks, because you're still killing your babies because you love it and you want to do it.
Sure.
But it's got to sacrifice to make the other thing work, because otherwise it doesn't have a chance at growing, and nothing does. That's the problem there. Now, dropping this out, I'm doing the Jigsaw thing and the Jabba Radio, and if nothing happens, well, then now there's another decision Bomber's making a year, and we go from there. Who knows?
Sure.
But if it does grow, awesome. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's the thing. Knowing Matt Zion and how to do YouTube channel structuring, there's positive possibilities here, and I'm all confident for you. But if you didn't try that, that would not happen, because it's just not good. Like, you're not even trying for it.
Yeah.
If you try for it, hey, that's the point. And like you said, why wait 6 more months to make this call when you could just do it right now?
Sure. And
do it now. You gotta cut the losses. It's and again, it doesn't make it any easier.
And it's actually like I said, it's when I saw how successful my friend is when he's dedicating his time to that, and seen, I talked this all out with Jess and stuff, and it's like, look, something's got to go. Either my options were basically, look, either just do the JRPL stuff and just accept the fact that I'm just not going to have as much time for the YouTube stuff, and it's just not going to have a chance to, grow or boom or do whatever. Like you said, it might not happen. Who fucking knows? But, or
I'm being the realist, but yeah.
Sure. And I'm a realist too, trust me. So I'm with you on that. And, or cut the thing that's taking all that time to being able to, not have to constantly think about, God, I got to update the site. I got to update this. I got to do this. I got to book this. I got to message this person. I got to do this. Like I said, there's so much. Even these 5 people, I talked to Jess. I said, how do you think these 5 people are going to do on the show? And I mean, she's like, they're probably not going to be able to handle it. Now, that's not a shot at them. It's just there's so much that goes into. I hear you, Woody. There's so much that goes into it. I know for one show it might not be that bad. I like I said, I think you guys are going to do great, Woody. But as far as, imagine how much work it goes into with having 5 people do it. It's going to be a lot of work for just 5 people. Imagine one person doing that for 2+ years, almost 2.5 years. Craziness. You guys will see it. You guys will definitely see it.
I know from the outside, it's like, oh, it's just, updating the webpage or doing a thing here or writing up some matches. Well, I remember, Bomber, there's been days when you're literally updating us in Discord and you've been writing for 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, it is easier said than done. Absolutely. And if maybe other people can do it faster, cool. But
hey, if there's a team of 5 that can pump out this all-out show and, it goes flawlessly, that's just shows you how good they are. I know
the way you're looking at it is, because I know I could do GPC videos half-ass and they're still there. No, it's either all or nothing.
Yeah.
So that's I know that's your opinion towards continuing from your perspective of Jabba Radio Prediction League. Like, you could do it half-ass, but no, that's...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, I've been killing myself to not do it half-ass on top of doing the JRPL since March, and we've had so many shows lately. We did have a big gap between SummerSlam, of course, but before that, holy shit, we were loaded with shows. So on top of all that stuff, I was killing myself getting all this shit done. And I honestly, honest to God, when I was in Charlotte and I had a full-time job, I didn't work as hard as I 100%, I am swearing to you right now, I didn't work as hard as I am now. and I don't have a full-time job, and I'm not making any revenue. That's crazy, right? But that's trying to do the work to get stuff off the ground, though. So of course it's going to take a lot of work. Yeah. So, yeah. So bottom line is that's everything. That's when I came to terms that one night that everything went down. Jess came home. She could tell like everything was like I was going through it. I was like, man, this just I can't. I have to do something if I want to, get something going. It was like, I was like going through the shit, and it's hard because I think you all know by now how much I like the JRPL and how much, I do not want to see it end, but it's just not realistic to have it pan out right now, if that makes sense. So, Woody, I haven't heard much from you. What are your thoughts so far on everything? And anybody in the chat, by the way, if you have questions, type it now, and I will answer any questions that you guys have in the Twitch chat. But Woody, what are your thoughts?
This is coming from like a fan's perspective. Like I've been here since day one, and it's just emotional to hear all this. It's like the grieving process. It's like you don't want to accept it. It's like no, but it's fucking happening, and everything it makes sense, but it sucks. It fucking sucks.
100% it does. I like Red's question. Hey, question, can you not end the league? There you go.
Yeah.
Warden.
I get it.
Yeah, Warden comes in. So, should I end my Patreon or what? As I said,
Patreon's not just for the Prediction League. It's for Jobber Radio.
Sure, the Jobber Radio is going to continue. In fact, Jobber Radio is going to be getting more content now that this is going to happen. But I can't tell you, hey, no, of course I would love for any of the supporters to keep supporting on Patreon, but I understand if you do want to cancel, I understand. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you, hey, you need to keep supporting. I understand 100%, and it sucks, but things aren't going to stop. Yes, the Patreon will be tweaked and stuff. It will remain open because, like I said, the Jobber Radio portion, the YouTube portion will be expanded upon. I've got plans for new shows. We got a new trivia Jeopardy show type deal for wrestling trivia that I'm working on the graphics to get that going off the ground. That's going to be a lot of fun. And what my hopes was to have, in typical, Jeopardy fashion, say for the first episode, say the contestants are, Lee, Scott, because, we got dedication there. And who knows? Yeah. Maybe Rab or Peanut or who knows? Maybe even Zion, because Zion might show up for something like that. And the winner will remain, and then you're going to have two other people. Who knows? We could get people, we can get Patreon supporters. We can get other people that are on Discord. We can get to come on and challenge Scott or challenge Lee or whoever would win. And, just stuff like that. Just ideas that we got that hopefully will, get going good down the road. So, like I said, a lot of that is planned for in the future. So if you do want to stop support on Patreon, I understand completely. I do. But that is your call.
And I'll just jump in there again. I'll say it again. The Patreon is not just for the Prediction League.
Correct.
It's for the whole Jobber Radio.
Yes.
So.
And we will tweak stuff.
If you were just doing it for the Prediction League, all right, fair enough. But
yeah, and I know a lot of you and I know a lot of you are, and that's fine. 100%. So there you go. Discovering I'm going to miss show 100. Damn it. What? Lee, you're not going to be there? Oh, my God. Lee, what? I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if it's the most important thing in your life, but it's not because show 100 is.
Then we delay when we do it.
Yeah, I mean, we can't have a show we can't have 100 show without everybody there. Yeah, Lee is telling us this in the Twitch chat. This is, breaking news is right. Yeah, I'm reading this for the first time. He's working. Call in sick. Tell him you got amnesia or something. I don't know. Tell him you don't know who you are. I don't care. Get out of that. Yeah, get out of there. Tell him you got a podcast to be on. Show 100. Big deal.
There is a lot of people in here saying that, will the Discord stay open?
Oh yes, Discord, of course. Like I said, the only thing that'll change is just the Jabba Radio Prediction League. But Discord's staying open. We're still going to be doing stuff on YouTube, all that kind of stuff, Twitter, everything. Like the only thing different is I'm just not going to be able to have that time to do the Prediction League because I'm going to be focusing more on YouTube content for 2 channels. So,
like I can say personally, the Discord chat, I'll always be in there. Like,
sure.
Think of it. The only difference with the Discord stuff is the character chat won't be relevant towards a monthly show. Everything else in there, talking about the live events or the stuff and the sharing the news and all that, there's no reason for that to stop. I get people might drift, but hey, being in voice chat watching pay-per-views is fun as hell. So I hope people stick around for that because I plan to.
Yeah, I mean we've had a pretty decent community for 2.5 years now, and I don't think. I mean, yeah, of course, people are gonna some people are gonna go elsewhere and stuff. That's fine. You do
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. That's nothing wrong with that at all. But yes, there's no plans on changing anything. You guys want to talk pay-per-views, talk just shows, whatever. Yeah, Discord's gonna stay the same. Discord's not going anywhere.
So yeah, like Jim, as you just said, like Discord came from the league. It's its own thing. It'll stay because we're here. I do think. It would be kind of funny if character stuff continues in the Discord.
Oh yeah,
GM that could be pretty funny.
Boss said leave the character chat. And Red comes in with a serious question here. Can we adjust the Patreon tier rewards? Yes, that I was kind of saying that. Yeah, the obviously stuff will get tweaked as we go. I'll have to figure out what we're gonna do, but yeah, that stuff will be tweaked on the Patreon. The rewards and stuff for those that do hang out and stay. And by the way, Woody, I saw that you just recently signed up for Patreon with the tier to choose a topic for best in the business. So
sweet.
You got to come up with that topic, my friend.
I do. I don't know what it is.
That's okay. Take your time. Whenever you got it, let us know so we can get we need to get another one of those episodes out. They're a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll be doing more of those. So there you go.
Now, Bomber.
Yeah.
I'll be the guy to ask a question.
Sure.
If you don't want to answer it because it's not decided, go for it. But I hope you understand where it's coming from. What if this group does real good? Would there be any chance of them continuing, or is that it for all of it?
I see.
Are you open to them continuing, or is it like it's a one-off? Because I know there's people going to be thinking that or wondering.
There have been several people already mentioning that. Yes.
Let's clear the air. Initially, it was already not going to be an all out, and now there is.
Sure.
It's on it reneges and it continues after all. Like I just want to say, or even like a successor league or something else. If we're talking about it, we may as well throw that out here too, right? If I'm putting you on the spot, I apologize. I'm not trying to do that, but no. I'm just trying to if people are thinking it, I know I was at least because I'm already like, what kind of storyline could I do with that? So that's how I operate. But
yeah, no, a lot of people have already asked that, and man, it's tough because first of all, I don't know how this crew is going to do. Like I said, I'm confident they're going to do good, especially you, Woody. I know you care. I know all of these people care. That's why I know they're going to try their best. But who knows? I mean, there's no guarantees on, this show could be a goddamn train wreck as well. We got to, I don't know. I haven't. It's a very good question, and there's no real good reason for me to come out and say, you know what? Say All Out goes perfect. Say All Out goes great. All these guys and girl, they do a fantastic job. They update the site right on time. They get the results out promptly. They have a great write up and fun story, everything. Everybody loves it and stuff. I honestly don't have a good answer or a good reason to say, there's no valid answer or reason for me to say no. I know you did great, but it's over. But again,
I can tell you're even having trouble saying it here. I understand it.
Sure.
And I understand where you're coming from on it. It's hard to see someone else run with your thing, especially. And this isn't. Don't take it wrong. Especially if they succeed at it.
Well,
even
it's not
from
that.
a reception of it. No. But it would be hard. Like you said about seeing your friend with the YouTube channel. You're not jealous. You just want that too. That's not jealousy. You're just like, oh, I can do that.
Oh yes.
There's definitely emotions with it. And it's not like the decision is final, it is closing forever, because who knows, maybe you're like, you know what, go for it, or no, I don't want, it's over. They can do their own thing, they can start something from there, do whatever, it could be something separate, whatever it is what it is. But I mean, literally, I don't know if you even realized it, but hearing the way you were talking there, it's like it hit a nerve. It's emotional, and I apologize for that.
No,
but,
dude, no. It's 100%.
No, but it is.
Question.
It is though. I understand. That's the thing. So
it's just how undecided I am. There's no logical good reason for me to say no. I'll say that, and I know that's the case. It would almost be. I will admit it would almost be selfish of me to say no if these guys do a good job. So, I don't know.
You just need a reason to say yes at this point.
Yeah, I will. I don't want to say I'll think about it because I don't want to, get people's hopes up and stuff and then let them down.
And I wanted to be sure of that too, because if people were thinking that going in when there was never,
he needs an ACL tear in the worst way.
No, sorry. We had a follower, and I forgot to turn the alerts off. So we got a new follower with Rab saying he needs an ACL tear in the worst way.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I see him on the stream.
Yeah.
No, it's like I was saying. If people are thinking, oh, maybe if we're good, we can do it. Cool. Go in with that attitude anyway.
Yes.
If there's no chance, there's no chance. I mean, who knows? It is really it, and not even okay, fair enough. It's
yep. And another question. Well, it wasn't really a question, but Red just popped in and said, "Wait a minute! I just realized. So this is the last WoodYaTalk?" Well,
we could do one after All Out just to.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
you could comment on it at that point if you
sure.
wanted to.
There could be one after All Out. The final show. People get in there and talk about how it went and how crazy it was and how much of a big bang we went out on and all that kind of stuff. So, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say this is the last one because there's always room for another one. Way to kill the JRPL PL in record time. Yes, you know what? There's so many things. Like we just started the the YouTube channel and stuff, and then it sucks. There's no way around this situation besides it sucks. But I think it's a tough decision that had to be made to progress things. And also on top of this, on top of how much time it takes stuff, it also is putting like a super lot of stress on me as well. That's also like a piece of it. It's not the major piece or, the biggest piece or whatever, but I'm super stressed out a lot of the time now with all this amount of work that I am doing. So that's also, this is taking place to help alleviate, try to not make me constantly think I gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. Yeah, but I gotta do this other video. I'm working on this other video right now, but I gotta get this one done. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna hopefully help out with that as well. The stress level, that is. Everybody talking about the JRPL is dead. Everything's dead. I hate the word dead too. That makes it feel like a failure or like when you say, "Oh, is the JRPL dying or is JRPL dead?" It makes it feel like it failed or something. And no matter what happens with All Out and stuff, I don't think the JRPL at all failed. Like I said, JRPL to me, I never seen anything else on the internet that was a prediction league that was even close to what we did here. And this is like including everybody, not just what I've done, what everybody did, like the stories, the titles that were won, like everything. I don't think anybody came close to doing what the JRPL has done. So when I see dead and stuff, maybe that's just a personal thing. It makes it seem like, oh, it's dead, it failed. But
that's just another
that
word
could be me too. That could be me too.
Over
though.
Or done is all they're meaning.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't fail. It's just it stopped. So that's dead is another word for that. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I don't like saying the GPC is dead. I mean, it is, but no, I stopped it. I could start up any time, but for all intents and purposes, it's dead. So it's like, yeah, but did I fail at it? Well, kinda. But I chose to stop to move on to other things to try to pursue that. And yeah, so there's no decision being done lightly here. It sucks. Like you said, there's no easy way to put anything on this. At the same time, it kind of is easy. It's like, look, it's for the betterment of other things, which I don't want to say hold more value, but have more importance in the grand scheme of things.
I wouldn't even say that, because to me, the JRPL has been, hobby wise, like not real life stuff wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff that I do, the most important thing that I've like pay attention to. So
I mean from a viability standpoint of continuing at that level. That's what I mean by that.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, yeah. As far as like, do I care more about the Prediction League than say my Jigsaw stuff? I definitely have put more work into it, and I would say yes, if not the same. But I have a better chance. I feel, turning something out of, or creating a revenue stream from that, from the Jigsaw stuff. So yeah, that's that. Does anybody have any other questions or anything? Woody, do you have any things to throw out there?
I'm too emotional.
There it is. No, I don't know if that was a joke or not, but I 100%. I do understand, and what's up?
Go ahead, Woody.
Oh, that was me that said I, but you're good.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, because now you want to get emotional. It's been awesome with what the league has done to open people's eyes on other things with wrestling. Mm-hmm. Many people got opened their eyes to Ring of Honor through this, and Impact, and saw some awesome stuff at the Slammiversaries. Beer Me and I had fun with those and stuff. And New Japan, just from virtue of people being fans of it, not even being predicting of it, but the community talking about it and opening their eyes to it. And the G1 stuff lately, and people like discovering a love for wrestling or being renewed by it. And I can say for my side of it, thank you. This has been awesome. Not that it's like we'll be like I'll see you on Thursday for the podcast, but it's like for this side of it. I mean, it's been awesome, and the amount of work you put into it, I know, is ridiculous. And you would be continuing it if it was financially viable to do so over other things. That's literally what we're talking about here. It's just can't be done. So it's not for a lack of care or anything. It's just like bills gotta get paid. You gotta take that shot, and sometimes you gotta sacrifice things to do it. And like I said, I thank you for that. The creative freedom to do writing, I can say, has helped me with some script stuff. Good. Because I've been writing matches and creating stories and coming up with things, and it's been like, you know what? It's gotten me creative. Other people have been writing their own stuff. Think about that. Everybody out there doing this creative writing as of late is what you're doing. You're writing and telling stories, coming up with ideas for months and years, thanks to this. Mm-hmm. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool to think about people doing that and writing stories, coming up with it, or following stuff. And just the channel with, like 30 to 60 people in there of just pretty cool people to hang out and watch wrestling and talk stuff and talk movies and play tabletop board games on Simulator on Steam, and just it's all like Jobber Radio brought a lot of people in, but this league brought a whole lot more. Pretty awesome. So.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, yeah. I mean, that's tough to follow and talk about, but yeah, that's 100% true. Red wanted to. He mentioned what you guys should do in your final episode is have everybody send something in and say what they like what they remember most or what they cared about most about the JRPL and stuff, and read them on the show and stuff. And that sounds like a very good idea, but like I said, I don't think this will be the final show. So maybe if you guys think that's a good idea, maybe we can do that on we can do a show after All Out, and we can have everybody do that.
So I know this would be more work.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it depends on who's involved in it.
Okay.
But a way to more be celebratory about things is, we got to have our 2019 jobbies.
Oh, I saw somebody.
We might be cutting it early, but hey. So if people wanted to be more celebratory about it, there's always that possibility that people can structure too. I mean, there's no rush on it, but that's a thing that people can work toward too. Not saying you have to, but
sure,
people know the website. That's always a possibility too.
Yeah. I will say the jobbies are probably like one of my favorite things to do. Like,
oh, they're great.
Yeah, jobbies are one of my favorite things. Also, I don't. I'm very graphics driven too, and I don't know if anybody else, like even our 5 members, are graphic. I don't know, efficient, maybe the right word, decent with graphics. But that's something also to think about, that if they're going to update the site, like if for example, if there was a jobby thing, I mean, sure, you can have text up there, but oh my God, you're going to kill me here. You're going to try to put text up on it?
It's not the same. Yeah,
of course.
I can do some. You saw some of my stuff. I've done some decent ones.
I have templates and stuff that could help, like any templates I work with that can be used. I can give people those templates if they're.
I just say that all because I know Red and I want to get Story of the Year or something like that. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You never know. I mean, there's a couple other stories that are pretty good.
Lee and I. Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple other
the
stories.
whole Bomber LJ is pretty damn good.
I mean, there's true. There's some other ones, but yeah. I'm a professional graphic designer using Paint. Oh, God, that's Fart Bucket right there. That's Fart Bucket talk. That's what he uses, Paint. So I know it's weird to, end on like a weird note and everything, but that is where we are and what we're going to do. For those of you, I might post, hey, you know what? Everybody show up for All Out. Like, this will be the last show. So that now I'll actually mention it. So hopefully we get a good number. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to be a record number, but hopefully everybody shows up for this show and it ends up being fantastic. And I understand if like a Switchblade or whatever, if you don't want to be a part of it, that's fine. You do what you got to do. That goes for anybody out there. But we want you to, me and these other 5 people here are definitely going to, well, I should say they're going to put in, these 5 people are going to put in a lot of work for it, and they're going to want you to show up. There we go. We got some bits that just got thrown in randomly by Hidus Troll. But anyway, yeah, so that's where we are, and I hope everybody shows up for All Out. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a really good show. I believe these guys are going to do a good job. So, unless you guys got something else, I mean, unless somebody has another question, I'm good, man.
Hey, Chad.
Oh, God.
I got a question for you, Bomber. Let's get a positive thing. What was your favorite match now that your wrestling career is over?
For me, just like as Bomber's favorite match?
Yeah.
Holy shit, on the spot. Oh my God.
Yep. This isn't Bomber the website, whatever guy. This is Bomber's career. Bomber's over. He's getting interviewed, dragged out. What's your favorite match?
Oh man. Jeez.
I guess I'm positive going, right?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Or just favorite moment that stands out.
I would probably say, holy shit. I guess I would honestly probably say like the main event of WrestleMania with Woody, the first big major angle.
Give me what I want.
Oh man, everybody's throwing in some bits now. Thank you guys for throwing in the biddies. But I would probably say favorite big match would be the main event for WrestleMania, even though I lost. But I'm with a lot of other guys out there that it's not all about winning and losing. It's sometimes about the story, and I think we did a pretty good job from start to finish there. So I think that would probably be my my top favorite match. But a lot of crazy moments, a lot of crazy stuff. But that would probably be my favorite. but yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. But that's it. There you go. Fucking.
That made it real.
Yep, that was it. Like, yeah.
It's like that video. You didn't want to. It's like, yeah,
I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love.
I'm just getting. Just seeing people subbing and stuff. Hey, Hidus Troll gifted a sub to Orstella. There you go. There you go. Look at handing out generosity being thrown around here. But yeah, anything else you guys got? Oh, by the way, I guess real quick, including the YouTube stuff that I will be focusing more attention on. Also, hopefully focusing more on streaming. I'm going to stream more often and stuff. So for those that do like hanging out and coming and watching streams when I play games and stuff, it's going to be like, I don't have anything specific yet, but going to be streaming more often as well. So that's another thing that I'm going to have more time to do. So I plan on maybe, streaming, pay-per-view watch-alongs, Fire Pro Wrestling. Yeah, get some more of those back going again. So there you go. I just want to throw that out there so it's not all gaming nights. Yeah, Jobber Radio gaming nights. Let's bring those back and have them more often. So, for real.
I'll be a champion at that. Got to win a JR title somewhere.
There you go.
No, I want that trivia. I'm going to win that.
Yes, and I have graphics already ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. I really have a lot of promise, a lot of hope for this. The Jobber Radio. Somebody wanted to call it Jobber Jeopardy. I don't know, well, it's a working title, but we'll see. We'll see.
But yeah, I think it was it might have been on a Patreon video you had. I don't know if you released it like that, but a lot of us were excited about this, so there's interest from the guys.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I just thought of something that I mentioned on Patreon on one of the dirt sheets that didn't even pan out. Should I mention that here or no? What do you guys think?
Is it for a upcoming show?
It was something that was going to take place right after SummerSlam.
Oh.
Those. No, you know what? No. I'm not going to bring it up. If they want to bring it up, they can. But that was for the Patreon people that it didn't pan out. And I feel really bad about that. And I had really big ideas for the JRPL for something specific to take place after SummerSlam.
Okay. Yeah.
But those know that are Patreon supporter. I see Red saying, "I say yes. I'm the highest Patreon person." I mean, that's true. But I mean, I think that should be just some insider stuff that you guys were looking forward to.
Is he the highest? I thought I subscribed to one of the highest.
You did, yeah. You're tied technically, but he's been doing that for like several months though. But yes, you guys are tied for the highest tier on the list. But yeah, you guys are technically tied. Yeah. But it would have been a lot of fun. Yes, I knew Bastion. I don't want to tease people though. But yeah, I should have never brought it up. See, I shouldn't have brought it up. It just popped into my head. So yeah. Someone's asking, will the dirt sheets be released to the public? No, that was. Oh, geez, more biddies. But no, that was for the dirt sheet people. That was their perk. So I can't release those to the public. Nude sets is what we're coming for after SummerSlam. Yes, I was going to release the nudes. That's exactly what it was. Good call.
But Jigsaw sex tape.
Yes, Jigsaw sex tape. That's actually
use the hot sauce to lube it up.
Yep, that's actually what it was going to be. So it's all out now. Mm-hmm. Yep. But anyway, we'll talk more. It's not like we're dying and we're going anywhere. We'll still be on Discord. We'll still be doing things, and hopefully we get another What Do You Talk after All Out. We'll talk about everything that went down at All Out. So it's coming. It's winding down, but still try to have the most amount of fun with it as you can. That's like the name suggests, and like Tiger said earlier, the theme's All Out. So guys, go all out. Those of you who don't normally submit write up stuff, how about how about I submit some write up stuff for the show? Let's go crazy. How about that? I mean, let's do it right. That's what I think we should do, but that's me.
So Woody, you want to close it out then?
Yeah.
Get us out of here, my man.
Yeah, I can. Thanks everyone who stuck around. I got really emotional at the end, but I hope everyone enjoyed. We'll definitely be back. I don't know when. Probably like after All Out, before All Out. Probably after All Out. Something like that. But we'll definitely be back. You two have anything to say before I head out?
I would just say thanks everybody for, those of you who were a part of the JRPL, from the beginning to the end, even those who came in later, I just want to thank everybody for, being a part of the JRPL. That's all I'll say.
Same, basically. It's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to All Out to see what the hell we end up with.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks everyone for joining us here, but not only joining us here, but joining the experience in the JRPL, and we hope to see you soon.